I'm going to say that my alignment is
chaotic neutral.
A lawful evil.
He abides by the pirate rules.
That's right.
right. The pirate rules.
Yeah. He's going to be the pirates of the shit. What's the name of the galaxy
Caribbean?
for this?
Oh.
I mean, it was going similar vibe there. So this session 1 takes place on Absalon Station, which is
How do you spell that? Besmala? Besmala?
Sorry, I started looking for
Besmara.
So it looks a lot like our solar system as far. So Absalon Station is third from the sun, but it's an entire man-made construct.
Gotcha.
And that's where this session will take place.
Cool. So I need to.
I'm gonna let the dogs in, but I'll go feed the animals.
Okay.
Cover the rest of the deets here. Hey. You working? Everything else? Good enough?
You gain a mysticism and city plus skill. Sure. Cool.
I gave it's John again, but it's Smith. Okay. I went Spacefarer. You were from such a distant world, mentally cataloging and everything you learned from blah 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 blah. You gain science as a skill, class skill. Science as a class skill. You gain a +5 bonus to science skill checks to recall knowledge about strange new world features.
Hey, Pops. Hi. Oh, that's good, Papa. Oh.
Okay. Go to page listed with your class abilities. What class are you again?
I am
Mystic.
a mystic. Feeling Dutch. Once per day, you can spend 10 minutes to magically restore 5 hit points to a character per character level to yourself or an ally you can touch.
Like my own hands. What race are you playing, by the way?
Well, shooting time.
Oh, and that's like the not bug people, but
I'm magically and mystically inclined.
gotcha.
I can speak telepathically. But no, I'm not bug.
Hey, Tina. Hey, puppy. Oh. Yeah, it's okay. Puppy. Puppy. Cool. Cool. Oh, it's a puppy. Yeah.
And it's a parapsychological.
It's a big puppy. Oh. Oh, it's very nice.
poodles and the whole crotch thing, man.
Mhm.
It's weird how it's always a thing.
It's crazy.
I would have eaten her crust. Alright.
What are you trying to make starving children in the world grow even more hungry? Isn't it just wild how wasteful Americans are? Christ.
I'm gonna sit here and we play an imaginary game, drinking from a metal cup and a metal straw.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
Smoking an electronic cigarette.
yeah, the batteries that like the minerals from the earth that had to be ripped from the ground to be put in this little thing to allow me to do this.
Hey! No! Come here. Huh. Well,
You know the trust?
No.
Starving children in Africa, man.
Oh.
alright. So how goes it?
Oh, he was giving me crap about not finishing my crust.
Says I wouldn't.
And then,
Maribel's like, I will.
yeah.
Dude, the amount of times that she's like, I'll be sitting with like a burger in my hand like this, and she's just walked up and taken it.
Oh my god.
Because like she knows that like I'm distracted off with whatever conversation
oh
or
my
drinking, and like
oh my god.
please get out.
Dumb dog.
No, too smart. Is the problem. All right, so this is more or less the solar system that at least this setting takes place. I'll probably adapt if we continue pressing forward. There is what they call the gap in their history. So there's about 300 years span that no one can remember what happened during that 300-year span. The start of the gap is when they discovered the drift technology, which is what allows them to like instantaneously travel across the planets inside the solar system, and then it also shortens the time to go between galaxies. So whatever allowed them to discover drift technology caused this huge gap in time where no one can remember what happened. So a lot of them don't understand some of the technology that currently exists.
Interesting. No rest in peace. Oh boy.
I need to allot my stores.
Yeah, I don't remember what page it says for the plus or minuses, but it's in there. Okay. I assume they're similar to like.
I know now that I need a high wisdom score. So,
Yeah. So wisdom it is for your 15? 16.
16. So,
Oh.
all of my scores are really crappy aside from my 16 and 50.
Well, good thing we're not done multi-class. Yeah, if you're trying to make another Zafriel, it might be
Yeah,
with these
he's
scores.
got some Zafriel stats right now. 15 in my intelligence, 16 in my wisdom. Okay? Because, as a mystic, I start out with 2 first level spells, but I gain an additional 2. I know 2 first level spells. I gain 2 first level spell slots, or 3 if my wisdom score is 12 or higher.
Oh, okay.
I have 3 first level spell slots.
Perfect.
I know 4 cantrips or 0 level spells.
It could be tough making a tabletop game after D&D exists, because you don't want to use all the same terminology, but you also know everybody's just going to call it that anyways if they play the tabletop.
In addition, you know 1 more first level spell from your connection, which you will choose on the following page. If you choose the empath connection, you know detect thoughts spell. If you choose the healer connection, you know cast a cure spell. Greater connection, you know first. page.
We got a little bit more pocket there on the bottom.
How does that not remind you of Mantis? From
Yeah. it
Like
does.
imagery, it does.
sure.
In practice,
Well, sure, it's not.
not quite as.
Right.
Although I forgot that they had telepathy, so like
It's a even
with them
more
having
of
the
a bit.
telepathy, there is a better Mantis.
I'm just gonna go with healer.
Because you went soldier, right?
Yes.
Oh, you'll actually get to more options on the armor and weapons because I think soldier and operative are the only ones in the beginner box that are able to do that without extra stuff. And the operative has to pick a specific track in order to get there. So you'll be able to use the advanced weapons with like long rifles and
Gotcha. Like
the heavy armor. And
Right. Yeah, I figured we'd need some muscle if we had a healer.
I was telling. Were you here when I started talking about the augments?
Yes. Uh huh.
Because you can augment weapons by just attaching pieces to it.
Mhm.
They're extra credits or whatever. But with being able to wear heavy armor, you can put 2 armor augments onto the armor.
Wow. And I can also make my armor a part of my body as a robot.
Yes.
That's cool.
I'm trying to remember. I think you would get an extra slot if you do that, right?
Well, I will.
I can't remember.
I'll have to read it again. I don't.
Oh, that's cool. 3 times per day, I can restore 2d8 hit points to myself and to each ally within 30 feet.
Oh shit! Whoa!
AoE heal off.
That's
the bat.
crazy.
Dude,
That's like a cure wound. That's like a mass cure wounds.
That's a second level cure wounds to everybody.
Yeah, and yourself.
Yeah.
It's like a lesser mass cure wounds, basically. Wow.
I was telling Colton last night. I didn't realize. I realized it whenever I went cleric on Gladic. You have to go in to like actually individually select spells. It's not like to inherently add. But I didn't realize when I rolled my Bard Cleric for Claris's game that I hadn't gone in and done that. So, like, as the session starting last night, I'm like selecting what the 30 fucking spells I have between the 2 classes.
Yeah, so that's the thing with clerics and druids. You have the entire spell list available to you. You just pick each day which ones to grab.
Yeah, unlike every other caster class, you have to pick a spell off the list. That's why it's like
Because they're prepared. So I have the ones that are always prepared, and then I have the ones that I go in and I individually select.
Yeah, but like,
preparedness.
say like with the wizard, unless if you get another wizard spell book, you only have the ones that you have written in your spell book, and that's
Right.
it. But with clerics, you just ask your guy like, "Hey, should I use this spell today?"
dude, that sucks, man.
I'm salty with this player from last session, so I'm removing all my healing spells.
Yes.
All right, so
So I have a lot more healing as Chaz than I originally thought. Because like you were like, oh, you have plenty of healing, and I'm like, look at you, shit. Yeah, I mean, I've got some, but it sounds like everybody else has just as much as I do. And I went through and I was like rolling on that. I'm like, I could literally heal the entire party for like 48 or.
when taking the 0-level spell, telekinetic projectile.
That's cool. Also, I'm wondering if I'm gonna like last second pivot to like technomancer or whatever. Technomancer.
I was gonna say
So I like the idea of gadgets.
the mechanic would be fun too, if that's what you're interested in. Because the mechanic, I think their built-in feat is they can set up a barricade in the middle of combat to get covered.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I can pick up an object weighing 5 pounds and fling it at the enemy telekinetically. And with a range of 25 feet, and it does 1d6 kinetic damage.
That's like there's
Although the Techromancer, I do think you could augment the gun right before you fire to do like additive effects sort of thing.
Gotcha.
So like, as far as like beginner classes go, like all of them are pretty neat. I mean, I'm partial to like sci-fi stuff, anyways. So like,
Sure. Yeah, I'm thinking about playing long range soldier.
Detect magic is a 0-level spell in this game.
Wow. Detect magic is a 4th level spell in D&D.
First level, right?
Oh, it's a 1st level?
Or is that
Never mind.
dispel magic?
Oh, I'm thinking of Dispel magic is 4th level. Never mind. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh, I picked after we had that so like some of the spells I picked up on Jazz were based off of like what I saw as it would do. I'm like, okay, spell magic, detect invisibility.
Like, the no bullshit spells.
Sorry, we don't play hacks. It's all,
yeah. With no hacks. Exactly.
oh, that reminds me. I need to watch Bleach's episode, second Core 2 episode. It dropped today.
Oh, really?
I need to watch it.
Man, I think I might go through Bleach. It sounds like I'll like it because I love
It drags a
is it
little
only
bit.
one season? The first season where they say Rukia, or is that 2 seasons?
It's kind
The
of
first season is just him in Karakura Town fighting Hollows. Second season is Soul Society. It might actually be 2 seasons of Soul Society, and then a like 10 season stretch of fucking like Waco Mundo arc because it drags a little bit. I would highly recommend. There's some of the fillers I really like because they do full arcs for the filler and Bleach. But they're also like the arcs that I really like let you see the Zanbakuto spirits, and what they look like, aside from Ichigo's, because like in the manga, I don't think you see any of the other Zanbakuto spirits except for Arabe's.
I don't remember who that is.
He's the one that has like the Shikai. It shoots out like little points on the end of the blade, and then it like elongates. And you can like wrap it and like.
Does it like separate like a chain?
Sort of. It's not quite that chain. It's like a serrated blade.
Yeah.
That, like, elongates.
Does he have red hair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I remember him.
Yeah, so like I think him and Ichigo are the only ones you actually see. There's Zanbakuto spirits in the manga,
Right.
but there's 2 arcs that you get to see pretty much all of the Shinigami.
Isn't Ichigo's like a fucking cat or something?
No, his is Old Man Zanket.
Looks like a cat who's actually a hot chick.
Yoriichi. They never really explained the whole cat motive. Like anime trope. Like it's. Well, what I always thought was funny is like it's got a deep man voice, which is in the cat form.
Right.
She doesn't go back to that form, I don't think, like full on cat, except for maybe one other part of the series. But there is this like fan service cat thing going on at the end of the series, the 1,000 Year Blood War arc.
Sure.
I'm waiting to see how. What's it? Filtered is not the word I'm looking for. Censored. How censored it is whenever they actually play the anime. Because like it's literally like it's her lightning abilities is like covering up like nips and like like sensitive areas, and that's about it.
Oh my god.
And it's like, oh, okay, this is a little over the top, but see what you're doing, Kubo.
Speaking of shows that just came out, second episode of the next season of What We Do in Shadows came out.
Are you serious?
We watched both episodes last night.
Oh, dude, we're gonna watch that this weekend. Have I told you about that? It's like
Basically, The Office but vampires.
it's like a mockumentary about vampires, and it's like a comedy, and like it's also very, very like adult themes, very gory.
Did you? Speaking of, that reminded me of gore and vampire. Helsing. Have you had a chance to dive?
No.
You've seen it, haven't you? Helsing Ultimate.
I've seen it. Seen it around, but I haven't watched it.
Oh man, it's so fun.
I've only ever seen the Van Helsing movie.
The one with Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude! The Clarissa's Thursday night one shot. He's going like horror stuff. They had the opening sequence reminding me of the carriage scene in Van Helsing, where like it's on the road, like careening through and like goes off the canyon and shit. Except instead of the vampires being inside the carriage and dying at the end, like we were inside the carriage and survived, luckily. But
Wow.
All right. What page did you say the ability score modifiers are on?
15?
Maybe. I think it's further back because it tells you here.
Okay. You might want to do this too. Oh, it's the same exact way.
I assumed it was the same as D&D. I don't know why you do it different, but I don't personally remember that offhand because I built every single D&D character on D&D Beyond, so like I haven't actually had to think.
Right. So I'm assuming.
Because 18 is the +4. I think it's 16 and 17 are +3.
10, 11 is 0, 12, 13 is 1, 14, 15 is 2.
16, 17, 3, and then 18 is 4.
So I have -1, -2. Jeez. Okay. So that helps me determine my saving throw, which is. This spell is DC 11 plus Wisdom, so DC 14.
Okay.
14. That's a pretty bulky damage spell for a first level spell.
They might get augmented after the beginner box. I don't know.
Yeah, because I Mind Thrust, it does 2d10 and half damage on a 14 Wisdom save.
Is it psychic ability?
Yeah. It's 6 minus 2.
And that might be why is there's a lot of artificial constructs in Starfinder that can't be affected by mind.
So I need to pick one more spell. Okay. Oh, that's kind of nice. We'll just take that.
I have a -2 both in Wisdom and Charisma. I'm sure that will help the fact that I am not good at talking to people and letting them know how I feel.
So keep in mind, so if it's like a robot, like it's an artificial intelligence, androids wouldn't fall into this because they have like personalities and stuff. But if it's like a straight up artificial intelligence, mind affecting abilities, so like if you're trying to like charm them or something like that, won't work.
So you only charm other robots?
No, like you can't like not you specifically, like in general.
Oh.
If it's like a robot, you can't charm it or affect it with psychic abilities.
Right.
Because there is no mind
There
to
is no
affect.
mind.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, that's a thing on it. So
I thought it would because you're a caster.
Spellcaster always takes forever.
So, 0 level spells, telekinetic projectile, kind of toss a boulder, less than 5 pounds, doing a d6. Detect magic, 60-foot range for 1 minute. Ghost sound, which is basically like prestidigitation, but just with sound. Prestidigitation.
Just like sound waves.
I can make it sound like the equivalent noise of 10 soldiers fighting.
Ooh.
Oh, damn, okay.
It lasts for only
Do
one
you want
round.
another one? Or you want a busy?
I think I might actually want another one.
Another one.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna go get spiced.
But yeah, that only lasts for 1 round though, with a range of 25 feet. Then I know I'm telepathic already, but I got telepathic message, which has a larger range.
I was gonna say I could see that because it's like what right next to you if you don't do that.
Yeah.
Also, when you come back, do you hook your brother up with some ibuprofen or something?
Detect thoughts, range of 120 feet for 1 minute, but it's an AoE detect thoughts, so every round it's basically like a radar.
Oh, cool.
Mystic Cure, which is basically cure wounds, a d8 plus 3 on touch. Mind Thrust, 25-foot range. They take a 2d10 or half on a 14 wisdom save. And Keen Senses, whoever I touch gets a +2 to perception.
Wow. Okay.
Because of my higher wisdom score, I have 3 spell slots and unlimited 0 level spell casts.
Wow.
I haven't picked any skills yet. We haven't gotten to that quite yet. But
Oh, skill modifiers.
yeah,
It's kind of broken with, like I said, the operative. I think You get +1 on all skills, unless it was a class skill. Do you refill? Yeah, Clarissa was actually really happy with last night's session because she was able to realize that, like, especially with how many casters there are, how easy it was for us to like take out vehicles. So like we basically just did a trial run on like the track. Right. Is what we did last.
Well, that's like I was telling Colton when he was talking to me about it. It's like that turned out pretty well to like literally give us a test run because it made sense thematically too that we'd want to do that. And like, but you guys were also a caster down, so like,
and we were still that overpowered. Did anybody take damage? I don't think we took any damage.
No.
But like shit, one of my favorite scenes was Crampy teleported out of the vehicle, jumped off the vehicle, grabbed the driver of another vehicle, teleported back, and then Chaz immediately charmed him, like as he like landed in our vehicle.
Dimension Door doesn't usually work like that, but Clarissa she had him like roll a save because he failed.
Clarissa was not rolling well last night.
I'll teleport him out of the car, the driver. So I like jump back to the car.
Yeah.
Well, the way if she hadn't allowed it, I was going to do the reverse and go to charm first, and then would have been willing for you to just eat him out of the vehicle.
I don't want to be rules lawyery, but if the rules would have like completed as followed, Dimension would have done a significant amount of damage to the car. Like I think it does something stupid like 10d10 damage to where it lands. Yeah, it does.
There's some force damage if you don't land safely, I think.
No, like it also clarifies damage if you put it on a target.
Oh, does it?
Well,
I know. There's some like if you don't land where you want, like if you yeet into somewhere like random, like there's some force damage involved on you.
I'm wondering if you're thinking of like Thunderstep.
Dimension Door.
The only damage you get from Dimension Door is if you Dimension Door yourself into like a solid object. Because you're technically able to take people with you with Dimension
as long as they're willing.
As long as they're willing.
That's the caveat.
Yeah. That's why she had to roll a save, because it's like,
If you arrive in a place that is already occupied by an object or creature, you and any creature traveling with you each take 46 force damage.
But that wasn't the case, because I just teleported on top
of like the passenger seat. Okay. Oh, he didn't. He jumped onto their car, and then he teleported back to ours, like in the bed of the truck. It's kind of the way I envision it.
Nightcrawler style.
I see.
But it was one of those, like, if she hadn't allowed it, I would have requested to charm first, and then let you Dimension Door.
That's cool, though. I'm glad that it turned out. Like, I realized with me, like, not participating in each of the 2 weeks, like it puts a wrench in things. But I don't want to be the reason why people like put their campaigns on hold.
Yeah, well, and I mean honestly, like you think about it, what NASA, she had been there with the last like 3 or 4 sessions.
Right.
And it's not like it held up the game. I think the only reason why it could have held up Clarissa's is like Pykov's like the leader of the group.
Well, that's the thing. Well, so like here's the thing, like. Zafril is the leader of the Fellowship, and in my opinion, is like just as valuable to everyone else contributing to the story. But also, like, this isn't just something where like it's just like this weekend and next weekend, and then we'll get back to the regular schedule. This is going to be like this for like the next year, basically.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't like. It's just like Tucker will still get to go in one of my games.
Yeah. And if anything, it'll force someone else in some of those campaigns to step up to be like the primary.
Right. And it's just like I don't necessarily want to do that, but I also don't want to not make the story become what it should just because there's a complication.
Like especially with your game, I realized that Zafriel is an integral part of the party. And, not to say that anyone else isn't, but especially where we're at in the story.
Now you've got at least a couple others that could start taking some reins there,
Exactly,
and they're not going to if Zafriel's there, because it's that safety net. Like, you know, someone else is like, it's, you kind of have to force your character to step back to push someone else forward if you're going to do it.
I think now realizing how quickly like plans with Radagast are escalating, I think the reason why Zafriel wouldn't be participating with party actions as much is him personally training the troops.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be good. I mean, we've already kind of started to build that you could take a back seat with Raiden. Raiden is literally the leader of Windshire.
Yeah.
Like,
but like basically, because things are escalating so quickly, not like doubting Hendrickson's skill, but like Zafriel was literally trained to train people. Like that was a huge part of his backstory, like how he met his wife.
Right.
but one of the other things that became apparent doing two Clarissa campaigns back-to-back nights, because you brought it up with Akari, is because Clarissa lets full-on, like,
Right.
whatever you want to do with your character, you can do with your character sort of thing. Both Akari and Haisa are, like, super over the top, and if you're not prepared for it, like, it's, like, rough. Haisa is her character in the, yeah, and it's very, I think we went on almost a 20-minute tangent of her, like, fortune telling.
Well, so
Which wasn't bad, but I was like, I'm ready to, like, find out more about what's going on in this fucking cult city, and, like...
So Dre has a habit of creating these super dynamic characters with either horrible, like, terrific backstories of, like, tragedy, and, like, she gets so into it, and, like, which I can very much appreciate. I do the same, but, like, I've had to have this conversation with her several times, be like, hey, at the end of the day, you are playing the character. You are making the decisions. And, like, although RP is important, you are the one in the reins.
Right.
Right? To where, like, you know what you're doing. And, unfortunately, I had to have this conversation after she TPK'd my game.
Oh, yeah, I think, that would kind of do it.
But she has a self-destructive way with her characters. Like, by the time she, like, gets about 5-6 sessions in, then, like, something happens to where something conflicts with her backstory, and all of a
I'm
sudden...
waiting to see what's happening with Saffron. So, like, the last episode you uploaded, it felt like she was about to, like, murder her fucking self. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, not Saffron,
wait, are you talking about on
in your
YouTube?
campaign.
Trotsy?
Or
No, Saffron. So Saffron, like, where that episode ends, she, like,
Oh,
basically,
I see.
like, she, like, started having, like, mental breakdown, ended up in some random-ass fucking place, was, like, ripping out her hair and shit.
Yeah, then this
Yeah, I didn't realize you were talking about past sessions.
that's actually that's Saffron's exit,
Yeah,
and Troxy comes into the picture.
that's the last place we see her.
Oh, so we don't know what happened to fucking Saffron at this point?
Well, the next time they see Saffron, it's actually fucking Marie.
Well, that hasn't been confirmed, but
I guess you haven't seen Marie yet in the campaign.
Marie
Oh,
came
shit.
right
Well, because it threw me
before
off, because it's, like, it's supposed to be, like, what, like, the night before the wedding. Noel's having, like, this bro session with, like, Zafriel up on the tower, like, communing with Core to, like, imbue this weapon.
That's
Meanwhile, Saffron's,
that's
like,
your
out in the
right
middle of fucking nowhere, like, no one knows where she's at, like, mental breakdown, ripping out hair, like, getting in fistfights with random people that knocked out her teeth. Like,
that's the session where the Holy Avenger was created, and that's what I used her.
okay.
Yeah,
And it was such a divergent, because, like, there was a really cool shit happening with Noel, and then this batshit crazy stuff going on with Saffron, and it was, like, super jarring, even, like, if you're watching the beginning of the episode, and where that episode ends with Saffron,
yeah.
like, it doesn't
intense
connect
session.
very well.
It was a hard. hard
Nobody was aware of what was going to happen except for Dre and Colton, and
It was rough. That was a sad session at the end.
and, but you're getting close to being caught up, man.
Well, kind of.
Like you're getting there.
I've almost bridged the gap from where Mox enters in and, like, what videos you've
I'd say
uploaded.
you're like halfway there. You've got like a handful of sessions left to
There's
watch.
quite a lot of work to do.
No, I feel you. I am working on session 4 of yours. I think I've edited the first hour.
Well, that's the thing. I think I've only had like 6 sessions in total.
5.
5. So,
Since the TPK,
Yeah.
5. And
Yeah,
I
'cause
only
in the new campaign, I think there has been 3 sessions. 2 sessions.
there was a session 0.
Session 0 turned into the first session because halfway through that episode we began. And then,
Session 2 was the one on the boat with the dragon turtle.
Yeah.
Session 3, I hopped in halfway, and that's when we had arrived in. I'm blanking on Urim. And
right to Ravana.
yeah, and I hopped in halfway. Session
we're
4.
talking your campaign. Sorry.
Yeah, session 4 is whenever we fought Silent Shadow. Session 5 was the one-off because Dre wasn't ready.
Yeah, and I
So-
wasn't ready.
So, like, for me, it was short, but was really special because that's like I went full in with Gladys, like leading into Morden. I'm gonna do a
Yeah.
slight retcon where like the emblem that he's been wearing on his attire is actually the flame of Morden.
Appreciate that.
Definitely can do that.
But
Sorry, real quick. Where does it say what stat is important? Is it like Dex because it's range?
Mine was hidden in a paragraph.
I think it's actually back.
Oh, right here.
Soldier's key ability is strength.
Or
if you-
dexterity.
Yeah, it depends on if you're going melee or range.
Did you do the resolve points?
I explained the resolve points to you, right? Both of you guys.
I don't think I.
So resolve points effectively remove death saves.
Oh. Okay. No.
So it is a method to heal yourself. So you have a certain amount of resolve points based off of, I think it's your main skill modifier, or main stat modifier, whatever. If you sit and rest for 10 minutes, you can use a resolve point to heal up to half of your health.
Oh.
If you go down to 0 HP on your next turn, you could spend a resolve point to come back with 1 HP.
Okay.
You don't officially die until you run out of both hit points and resolve points.
I like that. Okay. So, like, the more resolve points is the stronger your resolve.
Effectively, right? Because it's effectively like that is your how many death saves you
like
can
that.
use.
It's 1 plus your important stat.
But your short
where is that
rests.
marked?
Right here.
Resolve. I have 4.
And I think that's most of the character level 1 characters. That's what it is. Because if you picked your best stat, you're typically getting the plus 3 modifier.
Yeah, either +3 or
If you're lucky,
Plus
that's a plus
5.
4. Yeah.
well, +4 would be the top.
How do you determine how many skills you choose?
I haven't gotten to that.
It's whatever page. Go to 46. Some of them are based off of your theme, class, all those things, and it'll tell you to add those ones already.
I didn't get any from my theme. Okay.
You got some, right?
Oh, that's actually from my class.
So that was one right there, right?
That's a racial. That's
Yeah,
not-
so
that's
it's
true.
from your racial, your class. Will start off, and then you get to pick one, unless I think you're human, you get to pick 2
I see.
additional ones. Like operative, you get +1 in all of them.
That's nice.
Because you're basically like adaptable to any situation is kind of what they're going with, I think, with the operative.
Yeah, you get to choose 1 skill.
One skill on top of anything that you had racial or class related. Go back to your class. There should be a box that tells you what skills you get a +1 in.
I already did. All
Okay.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't already do that, I guess Colton's got the reins on the book right now, so.
La Junta. Guess we.
Yeah, it's bittersweet that we're gonna miss you.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah, I think I set one up for each of you.
Yeah, you still get to pick 1.
Skill?
There should have been some for Mystic as well.
I'm gonna have to double check. Yeah.
Did you already have your base?
I may have taken his.
Oh no, I think I set them both together, but it could have got heated across the floor somewhere.
I don't. The only one I ever
I
saw.
have more. I just
We'll find it when it's not important.
right, or whenever the cat's running around with it.
Real quick, brother. So, go ahead and put a 3 in the class box that I say under skills. Culture, interaction,
This is from class?
Yeah.
Class. 3.
culture, interaction, medicine, mysticism, perception. And in all of those, you can put a 1 in your
Next
in the corresponding box.
Because I think they increase 1 per level as well.
And then with being a,
Yeah, then go to his Lashunta one. There might be some for that.
with the Lashunta, I did a +2 and 2.
Yeah, no skills.
It's in the student category.
Which might be your theme.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Oh, this is the race.
That's from racial bonus.
you gain plus. Oh, that's your
Plus-
theme. So put that in the theme box.
You put
You get to pick 2 that you get a +2 bonus in.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go with medicine and mysticism. So I have a +6 in both of those.
okay.
And then, unless you want to add to it as well, because then you get to pick 1 for just being level 1.
I think that's it. Are we done? Oh no, we still need to get weapons and shit.
Yeah, so equipment would be your next step. And then finishing all the filling out your actual overall modifiers. Because you still don't have your. You need your intelligence score in there as well.
I did. So class under
Plus. Your +2 modifier. So you actually have a +6 in that.
We also get to pick a feat.
So use 2,000 credits when you're picking your equipment.
Okay.
So that's double what it says, but that might avoid me having to apply an NPC. We'll still play it by ear. It might be fun to throw the NPCs in anyways. But,
Okay.
but for Evan's upcoming one, it'll be my first female character.
I took note of that. That's fun.
And I'm like combining some Call of Cthulhu stuff in as well for like my patron god.
Sure. Yes. Wow, wait. Yeah, man. I'm playing a paladin, a minotaur paladin.
paladins are fun.
Yeah, I'm going to go with
Your patron god.
I think Oath of the Watchers is one I was thinking. The patron god I don't know yet. I don't even know like what pantheon he's like wanting to use.
I don't know. I didn't give him an option. I'm using Call of Cthulhu Eldritch gods
Gotcha.
for mine. Because I created the backstory stuff before you filled this in. Because I jumped ahead because like everybody else has been like 10 plus for like starting characters. So whenever he was like 3, I was like, oh fuck, all these sweet abilities I had selected and everything. I gotta like just delete real quick.
Okay, so I have a +9 to medicine and a +9 to mysticism.
Nice.
Looks nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, a spell
That's actually-
thing is a feat that the prerequisite you're unable to cast spells, and it gives you a +2 bonus to saving throws against magic.
That's cool. Yeah. So each of the feats to kind of help you out if it's unique to a specific class.
Oh, there's a picture up here. I can
Yeah.
see.
So like the pictures are associated with whatever class. You have to go back to which class it is. Those are like what classes benefit the most from taking that feat. If it doesn't have a picture, it's kind of like ambivalent to who takes it. Like toughness is going to be it.
I'm going to take Far Shot.
I think that's what I took on my operative as well. Because that like doubles your range on ranged weapons, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you just get to pick 1 feat of level 1?
Yeah.
I think so, unless there was a class modifier or something that was giving you.
And there's
bonus.
also pictures up here to make sure you're. Is it? It's not a prerequisite. It just is recommended.
Yeah, so it's basically like if you're an envoy, that's a good feat to take as an envoy. Like that's kind of what it's saying. There's prereqs for certain ones, so it might be like you need to be level 3 or whatever.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, at first level you choose 1 feat unless you select a human, in which case you receive 2.
Because humans are basic bitches. So they
You
got
get
all
2
bonus.
skills and 2 feats. That's humans for you. It's because they're adaptable.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing. I love seeing how they.
Well, it's because they don't have as many bonus inherent like racial traits.
But in D&D, it's not a coincidence that every time I want to go for a decent good build, the base is human variant. Because you get to with human variant, you still get to put 1 point into 2 skills and pick up a feat. And like that's feats at level 1 for free, dude. Are like
where does it Warcaster? I'll have to take that on.
Warcaster is also very nice for spellcasters.
I'll have to probably take that on my Octeza for Evan's campaign because with Warlock, I think it's going to be. I think I have a bunch of concentration spells that I want to take for that one because I want to go a fire build.
Dude, for Warlocks, man, fucking what's it called? Shield of Agathis is what's it called? Armor of Agathis. It's like a basically like I mean you can change the text to make it like do fire damage instead of cold, but like essentially it gives you temporary hit points, and every time you take damage, it's like a bite back effect on an enemy.
Wow.
And the spell ends when you run out of temp HP.
So it's like a spike shield sort of thing?
Yes, and yeah, exactly. When you run out of the temp, then the spell fades. That's pretty cool.
Oh, there's the heroism spell.
Heroism's pretty cool.
I was like reading, I'm like, yeah, this feels super broken.
Yeah, actually, that's funny that you say that because in the D&D community, heroism is like one of the spells that they talked about, like, definitely, like, when you, like, because for some people, they sleep on it, and they don't realize, like, how...
You're getting temporary hit points every turn,
Yeah.
and it's what? About advantage on certain rolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that combination...
Yeah. What's going on?
I'm just trying to pick a feat.
What are you thinking?
There's a few that are pretty useful.
Yeah.
Mostly, there's one that gives me +2 to fortitude, one that gives me +2 to reflex. There is one that gives me +4 to initiative, and then there's tough, which is toughness, which is basically tough from.
Yeah. That's what Sparks has. And then, funny enough, I took Farshon on my operative. Because that being able to set 60 feet fucking back with a rifle.
Yeah.
Or no, it's 80 feet, I think, because my rifle, I think, has 40. Yeah, I could set 80 feet back from whatever my target is with Farshon.
There is a 3rd level feat, though, that looks pretty cool called Spell Focus. I have to be 3rd level. The difficulty class of spells you can cast increases by 1.
That's
So
really
basically
strong.
lets me bump up another extra spell level.
Wow. Also, this android right here has hella strong Qui-Gon Jinn vibes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess I could have... Now that you guys are almost done with your character creation, if you wanted examples of any of the classes...
I'm just going to pick Improved Initiate. Let me move first in combat, please.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what did they take as a feat on here? They took Blind Fight and Great Fortitude, but I think that's because they're... No, they were Sharon. I wonder how they got... Oh, Blind Fight is inherent to Sharon. But they took Great Fortitude because they're... The soldier probably took...
Did you see what I put my name as John Smith? As an android.
Perfect. They took Coordinated Shot, but I think that one's like you all target the same one.
Oh, I see.
And speed is from my race.
Yeah, so its base is 30 for your speed, unless your race gives you a bonus. Race or like class or something like that gives you a bonus to hit. So if you didn't have anything that said you got a bonus, you're at 30.
Got it. There was another one that increases your movement speed by 10 if you don't wear armor.
Yes. There's also armor augments, I think, that also will increase movement speed. There's one that like gives you advantage on like athletic checks for jumps. Because it's like leapers, so you're basically like adding like augments to your legs. I think there's a jetpack one.
That reminds me of like those little, like that what Shell wears in Portal 2. Like
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's exactly sort of right mentality for it.
Man, I miss Portal 2. I want to play that again. I beat that game like 50 times. You just can't beat a fucking boss killing him on the fucking moon. That's badass, dude. Ugh.
Yeah.
The stealing.
Well, and then
opens
just
up.
like Wheatley in general is a good.
That's the same.
NPC.
He's the same voice actor for one of his favorite. Same voice actor for Alistair from Dragon Age.
Yeah.
All right, do we want to go Huckleberry or Peach?
Yes.
Huckleberry. Yes.
Tucker's a big fan of Huckleberry.
Well, I informed him. So if you are looking to get a bottle of Wild Roots Huckleberry, okay. It's at the Syracuse liquor store because I just picked it up today, and they also have a peach one.
Ooh. Huckleberry vodka. Buddy.
Yeah, I was gonna have to pick. I was either gonna have to find it local or have to order it online because I felt a little guilty. Because like Anastasia was all that like picked it up.
Oh, right.
I was like, okay, like I'm sure I'll find it somewhere. If not, I've got 3 months to figure it out.
Right.
I'll be back.
12 is my total hit points.
Where'd you figure that out?
It says right here in the first class features.
I must have missed
It also tells you what bonuses you get to each save.
It's like something plus your Constitution modifier.
And then I have light armor proficiency.
Yeah. So I think all the classes except for Soldier and maybe Operative, if you pick the right track, are light armor.
Yeah, that's the same thing with fighters. They're the only ones who can wear all the armor and use all the weapons.
Yeah. But you should be proficient with light armor, light weapons, and grenades, I think.
Yes.
The grenades are kind of cool. Because there's like sonic, concussive, frag, and incendiary, I think.
Okay,
Cool.
I think I'm done aside from equipment.
Okay,
I need
perfect.
to do
that's
one more
where-
thing. I need to do my health.
It should tell you your saves too in that same box.
So you should be able to write down your armor class based off of your, unless you, the only thing you won't be able to do in your armor class is if what armor you equip. But you should have a good idea on your save and your weapon attack stuff before you do the.
I'm real good at the stuff that I'm good at.
That's
About it.
I like rolling characters that way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think Evan wants me to reroll as well, but I kind of feel like it fits mine.
He wants you to re-roll?
He said he wanted to have everybody roll with him whenever he's.
Oh, their stats. Right.
That's how I do it too.
Isn't that funny? Oh, never mind. I'll hold my tongue.
He's doing better.
But for me, it was like his is because he doesn't want anybody to have like negative stats. Is kind of the way he was implying.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, but the -1 strength that I have with my warlock fits because she's spending all of her time in the temple.
So
like,
maybe what you
studying
should
stuff.
do is like just give us a beefy standard array
Yeah, it's standard array. Yeah.
and just
I've
beef it up.
considered doing that, but although I like to roll the dice, in the campaigns I like to run, I've never run one where having to run on the mill character is. When like in the campaigns that I've DM'd, the characters are the heroes, and I want you to feel like you are.
Yeah. This one's actually funny that he wants us to do that because like he's kind of going with like a fairy tale vibe where like we're like a heroes guild and like we're working our way up the ranks.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like it's a whole rank
Ranking system. So
gold,
like you guys are going to
silver,
start at like
platinum.
bronze or
Have you
silver.
ever seen Fairy Tale Brother?
No.
That's a great anime.
No, I've heard all about it. Oh shit! Sorry, guys. I come to hit the edge of the table.
Oh goodness. There it is. But what's funny is, unlike Fairy Tail, though, we're not going to be part of the Fairy Tail Guild that's like #1 at the start of the fucking series. Like, hey, I've only watched a couple episodes, but I've liked it because like the main character isn't even the strongest in the guild.
Nope.
Like
that.
he's really strong.
Was it a shonen anime?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, does he become the strongest character in the guild?
I don't think so.
Well, I mean,
He gets close.
I've seen all of Fairy Tail, and like he does get close, but like that's not really what it's about in the end.
How do I figure out my health? I thought it was on that page.
It should be on this page here. Whenever it's talking about finishing touches, days, pronouns. In section D, add your con to your total hit points. You should have started with a base.
That's what I'm trying to figure out the base. Where's the base at? I thought
total hit points, right, 14. So
I
you're
just needed to
14
read.
plus your con save.
just needed to read, everybody.
Or you're 14 plus your con modifier.
14. So I'm at 16 health.
Which makes sense because the soldier's supposed to be tanky.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, we need to buy equipment. Help us out with that part.
So like I said, 2,000 credits. What I would do is start with, and if you guys want to look at it together, so it's going to go armor augments if you want augments, or armor upgrades. Light armor is 1 upgrade. This can be installed in light armor. 2 in, should say it here, 2 into heavy armor, and these are all your available upgrades. So like you can have to jetpack into it, but it's expensive, so you guys will use level 1 characters.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Okay.
But 1,000 credits seemed a little restrictive, so I'm going to go with 2,000. You still won't be able to go the best armor, but you'll have slightly better options on all the stuff. So like, I add lead sparks, but Wiro Traxel, he's got second skin with the leapers.
Skin as well.
Yeah, so he's got second skin with the leapers augment, which allows him to get +8 on jump checks.
Why not the carbon skin?
It's more expensive.
The carbon skin? I want to save my money for a solid weapon.
So the carbon skins, and that's the restricted part.
My character isn't meant to have a high AC.
Yep. And then he went battle staff with a laser pistol.
Her second skin comes from an MLM scheme.
Yeah, so if I remember,
Oh my god, that was funny, dude. God damn it.
if I remember correctly, how it kind of works is assume all these armors are built in with the oxygen systems embedded, unless someone manages to break your armor. If you were to go into like 0 oxygen, the suit would have life support system built in.
Right. 2,000 minus 450. The 50's throwing me off.
So it'd be 600 without the 50, so 1550 left.
Okay. Okay, that's...
Yeah, I was going to say the shot is, just like, numb it a little bit for doing public math.
I went do math in the public eye. Microcord is what I went with.
Okay. I don't remember all the specifics of it. I'm assuming it's just an AC modifier on that one.
+2 to the AC. Okay, where are the weapons? Oh, dude.
I just came up with my name. My name is T for short, but it's Shanty Foxford. Cool. I'm a sea space shanty.
Oh my god, your name is Shanty?
Well, my name is T Foxford.
Oh, great.
But yeah, Shanty Foxford.
Wow. Here's the weapons. Are you melee or ranged?
Well, you could take one of each if you have enough credits.
I don't get a bonus to either, so like...
Wow.
Unless there's something that adds bonus magic. I didn't look into it enough.
That's
for
the
that
idea
part.
I was looking for.
So, one of the fun ones, so Artemis's character Sparks has the, the shell knuckles, which is basically shotgun shells on a fucking gauntlet.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, right here, shell knuckles.
Basically, she looked at the pictures and picked out what. So like hers like isn't necessarily based on the 2,000 credit limit. She just picked one of each that looked cool, but.
We got like a chainsaw sword here.
And look, so some of them have critical effects. So if you roll a crit, it has a bonus effect based off of hitting a crit.
Sure.
So
I'm
like,
going long range.
Oh, there's a whole other page.
yeah, I think the next page is long range,
I'm also going to
and then there's grenades on the next page after
small
that.
range, long range.
Yeah, so like the advanced weapons you can only do if you've got the proficiency. And then there's grenades on the next page.
Man, the Huckleberry vodka.
Pretty nice. Thank you for thinking, Limpy. That's I have a weakness for Huckleberry anything.
So like melee, the battle staff has on crit it knocks down. So like if you land a crit, you basically like sweep the legs.
How does crit work? Does it still 20?
Yeah. Unless I don't think any of the classes have the nice like what is it, the vicious weapon where its crits are at 19 as well. But or no, that's not vicious. That's that's the fighter modifier.
450. I want to get one of these laser rifles.
This is a disintegration rifle.
Oh yeah, and flip to the next page. There's also augments to
Weapon fusions.
so you can fuse the weapon with an additional modifier.
Credits.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
So like
Kind of
if you,
like Mega Man or something, you know what I mean?
yeah, sci-fi man. So like you could pick a incendiary rifle and then like add an augment that makes it like a cone blast or whatever.
I love this. Character creation is one of my favorite things.
Oh yeah.
Here, let me have you go first.
Okay.
I think I might roll grenades if I can't think of something else.
Yeah.
Just go as
Well, because yeah, if you're going just straight spellcasting, you just lobster grenades in there as well.
Sure.
Because like there's like the concussive ones, so you can like if they don't pass the saving throw, I think that one knocks them to the ground.
I want to see what other options there are aside from grenades, so that's kind of what I'm leaning towards.
I don't know if I'm going to go with grenades.
Because I only spent like I think 95 credits on my second scan or something like that.
Yeah. Like I said, so the Wero Traxel, within that with a 1,000 credit limit, he managed to get second skin, a battle staff, a laser pistol, and 2 healing serums, or effectively health pots.
Okay.
All on that. So.
Yeah, because honestly, I've got
Now, granted, he probably didn't need the battle staff because he's got a -1 on strength. But
I've got a 0 level damage dealing cantrip, and I've got a pretty nice burst first level spell, and I have 3 different options for healing. So I just need something to do it in between.
yeah, you know, if they get too close and you're out of spell slots or something like that, yeah. Or before they get in too close, it's probably more accurate with the grenades.
Right. Yeah.
You don't want to hit because I think it's a 30-foot radius on most of them.
Well, also AOE at first level is pretty nice.
There's a fucking freeze ray.
It's not
That Mr. Freeze up in here.
Yeah,
the world.
each of the weapons, I think, there's a standard, a sonic, a electricity, an incendiary, and a frost variant of all of them.
When we
Did you just quote Dr. Terrible's Horrible's Sing-Along Blog? Dude, I haven't watched that since I've talked to you about this, I feel like.
I have almost done it because I'm a big fan of Neil Patrick
Yeah,
Harris,
dude, it's
but
like young Neil
It's
Patrick
so
Harris.
good. It's funny.
Uh,
But it's also just a good musical.
Okay.
It's short, it's like 45 minutes.
Well, it's always fun whenever you find like those actors that you wouldn't have thought them as like good singers,
Yeah.
and then you watch something that you realize, like Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
I didn't
I
realize.
still haven't seen The Amazing Showman.
Really?
Or whatever it's called.
Les
Miserables.
Yeah. I always just
I haven't
refer to it
seen
as
that.
Les Mis.
Les Mis, yeah, there you go.
I've never seen that, but Greatest Showman is a very good movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen
And
it.
you're watching Greatest Showman, and you're like, man, he's one of like 3 people actually singing. Like everybody else, like you could tell, like
Yeah,
they're going along, but
but
like
it's also like super impressive singing.
yeah.
Like, no, but with the Dr. Horrible sing-along vlog, it's a you can tell it's a pretty low-budget movie, but
Yeah.
like, and the acting isn't the best, but it's
Because that also has the guy that leads in Firefly, I think. Is
I
in
think
it as well.
like the boyfriend or something. I think I know who you're talking about.
yeah, Captain Hammer or something. Like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name is right now. Outside of
He's got
movies.
like kind of a Donald Finnegan. Maybe that's not the name, but it's the one that Missy refers to in Big Mouth. He takes like a space captain's name.
Nathan
like,
Fillion.
Nathan Fillion.
Oh, Nathan. Yes, very much that.
I love him. I have yet to watch a single
I'm pretty
fucking
sure that's
thing
it.
that he's in that I don't love him in. Because he was in like.
Wait, is it Nathan Fillion the guy from Firefly?
Yeah.
And so that whole Big Mouth thing is Nathan the guy from Star. I did that. It just made a connection.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. He's the lead, and obviously that he's the lead. He's the lead.
Donald Finnegan, you motherfucker! I just realized what you did there. Donald Finnegan.
Oh man. But he's the lead in Castle, which is one where he's a.
I've heard you told me about Castle. I think.
Yeah, so this one.
That's the spin-off, right?
No, this is a completely different thing.
Oh,
he has a like meta episode where like it's a Halloween episode. And he dresses up as his attire from Firefly, and his daughter's like, "The fuck are you wearing?" He's like, "Space Cowboy."
Oh my god.
But that one, he is a murder mystery writer, and someone like the first episode is someone's like recreating his murders from his books.
Oh,
so they
okay.
bring him on to like help solve who the killer is.
That's cool.
And he does such a good job that like it gives him inspiration for his next series of books. So he like shadows the detective, and he basically helps them with solving murders for the rest of the series or whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's super fun because he's like this narcissistic writer, but also like a really good dad to like his daughter because like he's famous author, so like he's got this estranged relationship with his wife, so he's basically raising the daughter by himself. His mother's like this actress that was like really famous for a while, but has fallen out because she's older. So like he's basically been in fame his entire life, and like you get that kind of like dynamic going on and stuff.
Okay.
It's a really fun series. I only made it. I think I'm on like season 3.
Are you big on reading?
Yes. I am actually. I just finished the Red Wedding and
I've
reading
heard of
through Game of Thrones. So I'm reading through
okay.
Song of Fire and Ice. So I'm at just over halfway through book 3, and the Red Wedding happened.
Have you heard of Brandon Sanderson?
No.
I think you would like.
He's a fantasy novelist, but he has a series called the Stormlight Archive.
Okay.
Oh my god! It takes place
It's
in
pretty heavy.
in a pseudo fantasy setting, but it's a very heavy, like emotional vibe to it.
Okay.
Basically, there is magic in the universe, but it's in the form of like spirits that coalesce around human emotion. So like whenever there's strong emotion being felt by somebody, they're called spren, and they'll pop up, and like if you're angry, like little like blood boils will appear around them. Like honestly, it just feels like a conduit for description, which he's super good at. But like, I'm not huge on reading, but I like because I can't stay focused long enough. But the audiobook, man, if you're looking for a series, what a series!
I was gonna say, I'm definitely a reader. I read all the way through the Aragon series, like growing up.
Yes.
I love that series.
They're huge books, and there's like 6 books right now.
I mean, like I said, I'm working through Song of Fire and Ice right now, reading. Which, if you guys have watched the show, like I didn't realize how much it starts to diverge after the first book from what happens in the show versus what's happening in the books.
That's what I've heard.
Like characters aren't in the same place.
Oh, magic items.
You know, like Bran is the only one that can warg.
I'm actually not familiar with Game of Thrones.
So he has the ability to like talk to animals and
Oh,
like
okay.
see from their perspective. and
I
like
didn't
control
realize there
animals.
was magic. Oh, I guess there's dragons in that
Yeah.
show. I just didn't assume there was like.
It's grounded, so like the magic isn't like super commonplace. It's like very rare type of magic.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think it's been like almost 300 years since there was a dragon, at least in that series, until Daenerys murders the dragons,
Right.
essentially. But in the TV series, Bran is the only one that can warg in it. But it turns out, as I've read, that for sure Jon Snow can also do it, as well as Arya has seemed to do it because she has like the dreams of like being a wolf running through the forest because they have like this deep connection to their dire wolves. So like Jon Snow and Arya have done it accidentally, whereas Bran has learned that he did it accidentally, but if he trains it, he can actually do it intentionally.
Gotcha.
And then I think they're supposed to be able to learn at some point that they can also do other animals.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't have to be that, but
Sure. So I went with. I spent most of my credits on a Sonic Bolter. And it's a 2d6, 30-foot blast, and it staggers.
Is
one of
the stagger a crit? We'll look at the page because that might be a crit effect. So what I would do is I would write it in here.
Oh, I turn back the page. A critical hit is stagger. What is that?
Okay, so what that
It
means
says
is if
on
you
your
roll a
card.
crit, yeah. So write it in on here. So stagger effect will be in there on the crit hit. Range is whatever the range is on it. I don't know if it had any other special properties. That would be your damage there, and then your total attack is going to be once you do your ranged attack modifier. So your dex score, if you had anything from your class, and then your total, and that'll be your attack. Basically, your initiative to make it a ranged attack, essentially,
Gotcha.
or your chance to hit.
Right. Okay.
And then
So that's
your dex score.
no, it's 3, so 5. So total attack just 5 down here.
So that's or +5, right? So like when you
Right,
make an attack roll,
right.
+5 to hit. That will be damage. This, if you roll a nat 20, it will also induce the stagger effect on whatever enemy you hit.
Stagger. You can either move or take an action on your turn. Can't do both. Oh, so it's slowed. Okay. Anyway, so I did that, and then I went back and got the Leaper's augment for my
Okay.
armor.
So just put that here, so your whatever armor with your leapers. I wrote in what the leapers did on mine so that it was easier to track, which is just a +8 to jump checks. So if
Yeah.
I ask for an athletics on jump, you get a +8 on it. And then your proficiency, you should have been light and heavy, right? And then whatever your armor modifier is, over there, plus your dex.
10 plus 3, so 15. That's a solid AC.
Especially for a level 1 character.
Drawn 5. Oh, that's cool.
When you guys, I'm trying to remember when I'm watching episodes, like whenever you have like, I'm blanking on his name right now, but you're running an NPC. I know that you have watched, like Hendrickson. I've watched you do the RP. Who usually rolls like what he's doing and the combat stuff?
So technically, Hendrickson is Zafriel's squire.
So,
And
So
so-
technically, you control.
technically, I have control, but in social situations, like, it's really up to you. But if like I'm commanding him to do something, then I would roll for him.
Gotcha. Because we'll
Right.
play it by ear. Because like if I throw in the NPCs to make sure we're able to make through stuff, if it ends up being too difficult, I don't know.
I think to make it easier for you, you should just have control over what they do.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we'll play it by ear because it says it could be ran by 2. I could see it working. It kind of depends on how many actual combat encounters are actually activated. Because if you guys do well enough on some of them, like you either avoid combat Or like if you don't go to certain rooms, like there's just not combat instance, which I think is pretty common for most dungeons, right?
More or less. I think I am ready now, actually. I did my equipment, did my armor, my weapons. Am I missing anything?
Quick rundown, looks
I
good.
mean, I guess I can fill this up, but
Yeah, as long as you know what your total modifier is going to be. So
Right.
if I ask for athletics, it's +4 plus your strength. So
Right.
if you want to
So
write it,
are we always going to have a level
I
thing?
want to say every time you level up, you update this to whatever level you currently are.
Right.
So,
So like culture, I wouldn't have a +1 because of my level.
not unless something else gave you that, but I think
Okay.
that's only for ones that you select this class.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'd have to read again through all the stuff.
Also, this guy there has like that like sort of fake skin over the thing. I want to be full. Robot.
You're gonna describe
Okay,
if there's a better one that matches your character, you can select
This is
that
the
one.
best one.
Okay, because like the attire he's wearing, why I like it because it looks priestly, not 100% in line with what I envisioned for Orlo and Traxel.
Right.
And Artemis said hers is 100% bright yellow, which does not match this mouse. So.
Wow. Sure, it is.
You're right.
Before we get started, we should definitely take another shot.
Okay. Do we want to do?
I need a chaser. I almost threw up last time.
Okay. But what do you want as chaser then? I've got cranberry juice,
Cranberry juice is fine.
Gatorades. I've got the blue Gatorades, or
Oh.
if you want to shotgun a monster, you can do that as well. I've got
Do you have
peachy.
monster?
Yeah, I've got peach, green apple, or
Do you care if I have one?
no, yeah, you're good.
Oh yeah, I could definitely use some more caffeine.
Yeah, what do you want? You want the green apple?
Whatever you
peach,
grab first.
green apple's on top.
Wait. Thank you.
It's a good thing I only have to hit AC of 10 with this thing.
You have an AC of 10?
No.
Oh.
So, I picked up a grappling hook.
Are you serious? You got a grappling hook?
Well, I mean, I'm throwing grenades.
That's
So-
cool.
It's gonna have a way to get out.
All right, I'm liking this because I think what's fun. I'm sure you guys run into this as DMs as well. Is like seeing what things people have grabbed and how that has now impacted whatever dungeon you find out.
right. Because you can kind of see the bigger picture.
Because now you're going like, okay, so like this area is gonna be easier than this. What like the book has said it was gonna be like.
Right.
Depending on like what type of damage your weapons do, that might make an encounter that is only easy if you've RP'd with this other NPC
Right.
easier. So like you can skip that NPC session, go straight to it without having like detriment. Like it's all those like little things that are like really fun.
Sure.
Which is insane to me how many posts I see on like Reddit of like DMs or like players getting upset where like the DM was upset because like I outthought their puzzle or like something like that. And it's like, but that's the whole thing is like they came up with something that was better than what you originally planned. You should be proud. Like you've got the wrong mentality.
Well, we've had this conversation. It's like, like, I'll immediately just go like, well, fuck you guys. This was like my whole thing. So you're here in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like this next section might be a little weak because I wasn't planning on you completing this in 30 seconds. I was thinking at least a 20-minute.
right.
What am I going to do with all this filler now? I spent every single amount of credits I have.
Perfect.
I have 50 left.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you write it on your notes?
Not
check
yet.
it. Okay.
You should buy 2 bundles of cables.
Oh shit, I didn't even think about adventuring gear.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh shit, I just clinked my energy drink there.
I find that one quite enjoyable.
Oh yeah.
I do too, but
I think I'm
I'm
gonna
a
try the
baby.
peach on the next one we do. Okay. Do we need a short break? Before we...
I want to. Maybe we could go explain our characters outside.
yeah, let's do
Oh
that.
yeah, I was gonna say there's actually built in where we do character interaction
Oh,
before
great.
we get into the dungeon.
Great. Awesome.
Built in.
Okay.
Kind of setting up what's happening right now on Absalom Station as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done to take a breather.
Let's
yeah.
get some air for a second.
This Katie, I talked her ear out.
about.
I'm sure she's appreciated that.
Well, I mean, she likes D&D and she's played quite a bit.
Oh, I didn't know she's played before.
Yeah,
She played in the campaign prior to the Fellowship.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
But because of time and stuff, it was hard.
Right. I mean, yeah. I wanted to.
How long did that last? 2 years?
Yeah,
1 year and a half?
Yeah, but like there were like 2 separate chapters with different parties between that time, right? No. You're talking about the
I'm talking about the Gears of Nature.
Gears of Nature. Which, by the way, if it ever happens, I'm very excited for the Fellowship to meet.
It'll happen probably after Radagast.
And honestly, because of how we're sided, we're kind of like standing as a neutral party. It's kind of seeing the more intricacies of like what the hell Urim is doing.
If I had to make a thing, Gears of Nature is more lawful. Neutral good as far as a party and their motives. Fellowship's lawful good.
So if I were to pick a leader,
I feel like we started to adjust the Fellowship a little bit because if you start to look at what characters we got in there now.
I mean, as far as the motives of the group and what they're trying to do as a whole, like Gears of Nature, they were kind of opposed to the Empire, and not to say the Fellowship is opposed to it, but like it's not an enemy to them.
so they're not exactly rebelling, but they're stopping the evil shit that's happening.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, because I would argue neutral good is they're going to do whatever's right, regardless of
Well, the
Well,
Gears of
maybe
Nature,
whether or not it's within the
it's
law.
technology and a lot of nature-based players, and like that's kind of the gist of the whole group. If you were to pick a leader of that group, do you think it would be Fia?
Wait, of Gears of Nature?
Yeah.
Not Fia. You're thinking.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking.
It was probably a tie between Lola and Lily.
Yeah. So Lily.
Unfortunately, you didn't record any of that, did you?
No.
Well, and honestly, it's for the best because there's some cool stuff that we could potentially run into.
Oh yeah, right. No spoilers for me. Which it is fun in your campaign because I don't have backstory for like some of the stuff that's happened, like with all the Silent Shadow stuff. That was
Right.
all.
Oh, dude,
But-
that's cool.
To kind of give you some foresight, Lily is Riley's character.
She was a fucking ranger. She did some damage. All right, we better get back into this. Or
So-
All right, you guys got everything you wanted. Did you
Yes.
want to pick up anything else?
I was going to, but everything's more expensive.
Okay.
Than I wanted.
So you do want to pick up some cable
Oh, or healing serums.
because you have 50 credits.
Healing serum is 50. I can buy one.
I mean, I have so much healing.
Oh yeah, that's a fair.
Because the reason why I'm telling you to pick up cable is because I have a grappling hook.
Oh yeah, to extend the grappling hook. Yeah, that would.
Where's the cable at?
It's on the next page. Right there at the bottom left.
Okay, I'll buy 2 lines, so 100 feet of cable line.
Just add it because I'm probably gonna forget. Yeah.
I
All
got it.
right. Let's get the moonlighting going. Do you guys need big overhead light, or are you good with?
We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
It was just hard to write.
No, that's fair. I contemplated.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm good here.
Are you good there?
I think so.
All right.
I'm also kind of blocking cold.
I could probably tweak. I was gonna say that, or I could probably tweak camera a little bit. I mean, as long as everybody can kind of hear voices, that's more or less. It's more so that whenever we circle back for if we have any good RP or anything like that, and we continue. Yeah, we're gonna start in this room here. So if you want to pick anywhere, kind of like in this corner here.
Dude, yes! Oh my god!
This
Oh
been
my
so
God.
long since we've
Oh my god!
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm excited about the map.
Do you want to? Okay. You can adjust after I kind of read through. So, like we kind of already talked about, we are currently on Absalon Station, which is roughly, if we were to compare it to our solar system, Absalon Station is the same orbit as where Earth would be, third from the...
The Goldilocks zone?
Yeah, exactly. Except in this world, all the planets have some form of viable life. The difference with Absalon Station, think of it more as like the size as far as population of like maybe Asia. So like
Okay.
overall population is probably about that amount. There is kind of the livable space, and then what they call the underside, which is where like all the mechanical stuff that makes Absalom Station livable resides. So they refer to it as the spike. So as you go down the levels of the spike, as you get further and further down, the danger increases. In particular, the half-explored ghost levels in the depths of the spike, abandoned for hundreds of years or more, are home to monsters of all sorts, from simple criminals to alien creatures that have arrived on the station over the years by unknown means, creating whole ecosystems in the gloom. Lately, however, a far greater danger has come to threaten the people of Downside, which is the lower levels of the spike on Absalom Station. A few weeks ago, valuable junk started vanishing from recycling yards in the bot scrap neighborhood of the Spike. Everything from technological components to scrap robots has gone missing. Local residents' livelihoods are at stake. But even worse, there are reports that some people have been killed as well. Someone, or something, has made Downside their hunting ground. Although no one has seen the killer directly, a long metallic shard was found in one of the bodies, prompting the locals to dub the unseen killer Steel Talon.
Steel Talon.
Steel Talon? The unseen killer?
Yes.
Can I see that scrap?
Yes, sir.
Unseen Talon?
Steel Talon.
Steel Talon.
He's the unseen killer. So
Unseen
no one's
killer,
actually
okay.
seen him and lived to tell the tale, or not enough of him to be able to describe more in depth what he looks like.
Sure.
Under political pressure to do something about the problem, Absalom Station's leader, Primex Kumara Bellacruz, has put out a call for heroes to search for this menace and stop it before it kills more people. She's offered a reward of 1,000 credits to the group that defeats this mysterious creature.
You said Mela Cruz?
Yes. Primex, which I assume is the title similar to like Prime Minister.
Okay.
Kumara Bellacruz.
So 1,000 credits each, or 1,000 credits?
To the group that defeats this mysterious creature. You have decided to go on the quest to put an end to this monstrous threat. Rumor holds that Steel Talon is living in the nearby ghost levels, which many monsters have used as a den over the years. You've gathered your gear and are now approaching the entrance to this level, but you still have a few moments to get to know your fellow adventurers. So as you enter into the elevator to go down to the ghost levels, I will turn it over to you to describe your character.
Okay, so the way my character looks is very similar, if not the same, as the robot from what's his name? From Death Star prequel story. What's it called?
You're talking like episode 5?
No. There is a newer. They made a prequel to like the Death Star's construction movie. What's it called? God damn it! And there's like a guy who's blind and he uses the Force.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Well,
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
There's a robot that chills with that group, and he's like kind of a blackish gray color.
K2SO.
Yes, that's what my character looks like. Very like humanoid in shape. And like when I talk,
But you didn't put a whole lot of effort in like actually looking human.
no. I'm humanoid shaped as in like I have legs and arms and a torso. My eyes will like light up when I speak. But they have blackish gray, sort of like steel looking color. And I have a huge ass blaster just slung to the back of my bod. And I'll say that like. I have a tasteful amount of rust and scratches around some of my joints.
Perfect. Okay. Then you've got Shanty Foxford, known as T. Has had a long backstory of traveling on different mercenary ships, plundering and looting all kinds of vessels and structures in their way. Whether it be by pay or by lust for power and treasure. Shanty was always the first mate to the captains who ran the ships.
Okay. Okay. I didn't get into background. I'm a space tourist.
Okay.
Okay.
And my goal as a cyborg unit is going to like just see everything there is and catalog within my database.
Okay. So I take it you ran across the ad and were like, oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, sure.
Shanty spent the teenage years of his life training and honing his skills aboard these ships, but quickly grew tired of the equine screams of different creatures and like the pettiness and honestly the has lost the need to acquire any material for himself, and has since found in one of the adventures he went on a relic of old that described the reason to follow Besmora or Besmara. Found an ancient relic and studied it extensively, traveling to all reaches of space to try to find answers as to what this being is. Eventually, finding out its true power, attained some power himself, and now has left the mercenary life to adventure and hone his new skill.
Cool.
He T is a Jesus Christ, what's it? La Junta. He's got the two gray antennae. Is bald and doesn't really have any strong facial features. It's pretty flat for the most part. Pretty small nose. Pretty concave features, as if like seems a little malnourished. But through the forearms and the calves seems to be built like a freaking truck, like Popeye style. like whether it's the amount of levers and like actions he's taken to fix different ships, it seems like that part of his life is still with him. Is in just standard robes, and you see a layer of skin tight suit, almost like a morph suit with a little bit more oomph.
It's nice to meet you. My name is John Smith. And I reach out my hand.
It's a pleasure.
I zap you with my palm.
You see, like my antennae goes completely straight up. I wish I could say the same. Well,
Right.
in any case, I'm at least fortuitous to have a partner here.
Wow.
Do you know anything else about this place? What would you say your name was?
My name is John Smith. You may call me John. Or John Smith.
I'm loving this -2 interaction.
Well, my name is T. You can call me T.
Right.
The wording I storing in memory bank 1.
right. Yeah, you hear behind my right eye a little bit of a click, 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 click.
Well, I mean, considering that you seem much more well in arms, I don't know what direction we should be heading first.
I'm also 6'7". I'm tall.
I look up. I look up to you as my 5'7" stature.
I'm a foot taller than you.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Alright. As the elevator doors open onto the ghost levels, you're greeted with the emergency lights in the abandoned tunnels flickering. So there's
my
dim
gosh.
illumination in this area here. It's not enough that you would necessarily require dark vision, but it's kind of like if you've seen like Alien or anything like that, where like you can see down the hallway, but you may or may not get color texture to what's going on.
Yeah.
Is each square 5 feet?
Yes. As you're looking at the two entryways here, the blue lines here are to depict some grisly plastic sheeting hangings over the two doorways.
Like Hazard, don't come in here.
Similar, like like a meat locker or something like that. You know how like they'll have the plastic. That
Oh,
kind
it's
of
like
separates it?
hanging?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
What would you guys like to do?
Okay.
Where would you like to position it? So the elevator would be like here. Would you say you're just right here, or
I'm
do you
fine
want
for my current position.
Okay.
Do I
You want
hear
this
anything
square or
happening?
this square?
Just right there.
I'll be here in the corner.
Okay.
Do I hear anything other than like ventilation or anything like that?
Roll me perception. I think it's perception still. Right?
Yeah. Where's my 13 plus wisdom is going to be I have a -2. That's an 11.
You can kind of hear the filtering of the plastic openings there. It seems like there could be a shadow behind either of these, or it can also just be the plastic filtering that's creating the shadow back there.
I don't hear anything as far as life forms are concerned.
Let me see if I can take a look.
Perfect.
I'm going to use detect thoughts and radiate it over in this direction. Each round it radiates out 5 feet, and I get a sense for the thoughts of creatures that are in that area.
Yeah, so we'll just wait like a minute or two, see if you.
Do you want to move? I was going to say you said 5 feet.
Oh no!
So I have a range of 120 feet with the spell, but I assume it's where I can see. So I'm just gonna go right up into the plastic and just look over here and see, like, over the course of about a minute what I can do.
Imagine like
Okay.
sonar, it grows this way.
Gotcha. Is there any other things with the spell that I should be pertinent before?
I'm pretty like every round, which is like, if he's the only one in the round, it's going to be every 6 seconds.
I don't know if it's different in this game, but
It might be. I'm basing
Okay.
my response based off of what it says.
let's see.
You recognize this?
Dude, right before you asked that, I had started to look up, and I started doing a little bit of the goosebumps in the back of the neck.
I put on some sci-fi.
I love it.
Instrumental, yeah.
You detect the surface thoughts of creatures around you. For the duration of the spell, you can forego taking any other actions to get more and more information. When you cast the spell, you detect the presence or absence of thoughts from conscious creatures in range.
Okay.
So you would be able to
round
know if there's a dead creature because it's an absent thought, or no?
one round later, you can detect the number of thinking minds. The next round, and each round thereafter, you can read the surface thoughts of a target in the area.
Okay.
A target can
Okay.
attempt a will saving throw to negate this effect.
What's your
What's the DC on it? I mean, I guess I could have given away the rolling.
No, that's okay. That is 14.
11. So you can detect that there is one. What's the word I'm looking for? Cognitive creature down this hallway.
What do they think?
Well, that would be 2 rounds. For
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
So he just knows that there's a creature
So,
at this moment.
As I feel the presence of another, I kind of put a halt. There's a creature ahead.
The Lashunta antenna have never ceased to amaze me.
As my head is turned, you see the antennae are pointed in the direction of the creature.
Okay.
All right. Now that you've detected said creature, please roll for initiative.
Oh.
Sure. Natural one.
Well, I mean, even still, that's a 5.
So we got a 5.
I have a 10.
That was a 5 with a +4, by the way.
You said 10? Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, so we're going to have John Smith first, followed by... I will describe it here in just a sec.
Man. The improved initiative feat really popping off.
Yeah.
What does it give a bonus to?
initiative for a +4.
Oh my god, what's your dex?
0.
Oh, so that's your whole initiative is your
Yeah, that's why I took it. All right. Having felt that his mind had been detected, one of the space goblins, separators, has now revealed his position. On your board here, you can see there's one behind the plastic graph here and one here. At the top of the round, John Smith, it is your turn.
I'm not in melee range of any of these guys. You see, right? So do these guys just come running down the hallway?
They were sitting behind the plastic, waiting for you guys to get close enough to attack.
Gotcha.
But T here threw off their original plan of jumping you guys.
So, I have. Can you go to the ranged weapons? I want to see what my weapon looks like real quick. Because I think that was pronged, I just can't remember. This one right here. Solid bolter. Okay. Yeah, actually, so I'll whip my long arm to the ready position, and as that happens, I press a couple of buttons, and you just hear like a little, and it just pauses at a certain frequency. And I'm going to do like a tasteful dodge roll to the center of the room. And can I see? Is the plastic obscuring my vision? Can I see them on the other side?
Once T had made the detect thoughts mode of both goblins push the plastic away. How I imagine this is this goblin would have called out, "Attack now!"
Okay.
At which point they would have removed the plastic to kind of jump out. So they're technically behind where the plastic was, but it's removed so you can see.
We are under attack. We are under attack. As I just kind of and fire at this goblin right here down the hallway. That's going to be a 12. Hold on. Where's my weapon at? Oh yeah, 12. 12 to hit.
Roll give to attacker. So that will hit. Roll for damage.
Okay.
2d6.
Yes. It's got the extra big bucks for that. So that's going to be 6 points of force damage.
Describe how this space goes.
So yeah, I imagine that this projectile that gets shot at my gun, it's like this built-up energy, and it like all coalesces, and you can see that light that's sort of bent around it in this small sort of basketball-shaped sort of projectile that comes out.
Cool.
Not having any definite shape, it blasts open the plastic sort of flaps that are hanging down, and just like hits the goblin, makes it scoot back like a foot or two.
And then he crumples into a pile.
Yeah, and if he dies,
Yes.
I want him to lose an arm.
Okay. So he'll crumple, but before the crumple, he kind of like ragdolls, and his right arm flies off to the side.
Great.
So this one has been removed. Goblins, turn to attack. At least what's left of our set goblins. The goblin, watching as this concussive blast literally obliterated his friend on the first hit.
Target
Mildly reconsidering his thought process, is still going to try and make an attack with his tactical baton on T here.
Look out.
With
Look out.
a 19.
That hits.
Alright, so we're rolling that hits for 4 kinetic damage.
Okay.
4 kinetic damage.
Oh, this music. Give me 1 second to grab a busy. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make another drink here shortly, or
Yeah, I'm out too. Let's finish the combat.
yeah, I was gonna say.
I just grabbed a random one.
Did you get the mimosa ones?
They're lemonade ones.
Those are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked up that box a couple weekends ago.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, connected for 4 deep damage.
Can you explain what that looks like?
Basically, it's essentially just normal, like fully. police baton. He literally just smacks, like, kind of like flicks it out, and then like smacks you across the face with it.
Is it straight up a goblin?
It's a space goblin, more or less.
Sure.
They're in space attire, but they look like your traditional D&D
Gotcha.
style goblin.
A
A little bit more like piratey, like they got the pierced earrings. Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, he smacks me across the face, and my body goes turning a little bit. And so I assume it's my turn.
Yes, it is now over to you.
Okay, and as my body's turning, I kind of, you hear my neck crack back, and I look back as my antennas point down, and they start to glow at the tips as I cast Daze.
Oh.
The goblin needs to make a, if it's a CR2 or lower, which I assume it is, it needs to make a DC 13 saving throw of intelligence.
17.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Is it a half or anything, or is it a cantrip?
No, it's a cantrip. Basically, if he fails, he skips his next turn.
Oh, I see.
It might not be an issue either way, but
No, so I fall back as I realize my spell has failed, and I just ugh. I bang my head against the floor to stand back up, and I'm gonna get back up and move back here.
Are attacks of opportunity a thing in this game?
I don't think so.
Okay. Just wondering. Okay. Is it my
Because
turn?
there's no bonus action, so I don't remember seeing anything with attacks of opportunity.
It's like a reaction type of thing, but it's not a big deal. I just wondering.
Yeah. We're gonna for sure roll with it not being a thing for that.
Okay. Right as you start to roll back, I say, "Look out! I think there's another goblin." My wisdom's really low, y'all.
Well, I love it because it's you described it as being exactly like K2SO, and that's exactly something K2SO would do. You do like a slight chuckle, and then you would make a comment about the obvious after it's happened.
Right. So I'll get down tactically, on one knee, and just fire off.
As the blast fires off, I kind of cock my head and
Oof. That's a 21 to hit.
Oh,
I assume that hits.
yeah, that definitely hits. Was it a nat 20 or just?
Oh no, 21. So
Okay.
it's like 16 plus 5.
Okay, perfect.
Oh my god, almost max damage. 11 points of damage.
All right, describe how the second space goblin.
Because I realized these goblins vaporize with my gun. I'll try to do really aim for a marksman shot of the head. I want to make it so the head is drawn.
Well, I mean, it does force damage, right?
Yes, so I'll
Okay.
forcibly remove his skull from his
So
body.
direct hit on the head.
Yes, yeah. There's not even a blood spray from the head. It just it vaporizes. Too fast.
Basically, what's it? The headless horseman, like he's running around with the pumpkin head.
Yes.
before we continue, I do want to ask, is that actually recording audio?
Yes, it should be.
I don't see a green bar raising at the audio.
Oh, is it?
Is there a way to check?
Oh. Apparently not. Yeah. That's it.
Sorry, I've had to deal with this sim many of times. Hello?
Oh, there it is. All right, so we were missing audio all the way up until this point. So moving forward, you can hear what's going on.
Sorry.
Good. It's probably because whenever I stopped recording earlier,
It just reset at the default.
I guess. Which is weird that there's no other
Yeah,
input.
OBS being OBS. Yeah.
All right, so the second goblin has been destroyed. Before you guys leave the room, would you like to search said goblins for any goodies?
I kind of, wow. I certainly wasn't any use there. Thank you.
That's okay. It is in my programming to do everything.
Right.
I'll if you want to search these low level baddies, we can find what we can get.
Just give me about 10 minutes. You look what you can find.
10 minutes is an absurd amount of time, and I go towards the goblin that I killed the first time.
You see, I remove my glove to find a couple of robotic ligaments coming out from my hand start applying like this green light all over my jaw. Over the course of 10 minutes, I'm going to use my class feature to heal myself.
Okay.
And I will restore 2d8 over the 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
And then I'll search the goblins in that amount of time.
Okay, in each goblin, if you search them, you'll find a second skin armor and a tactical baton.
Second skin is a +1 AC?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's 250 in the shop.
I'm gonna take that up and sell it.
Okay.
Skin armor and then what else?
So each goblin has second skin armor and a tactical baton.
Just note, DM, I can't use that again today.
Okay.
But you can for me, right?
No.
Oh.
Not for that one.
Once a day.
Hey, what are the baton stats?
That I don't know offhand. It's a pretty basic melee weapon.
Okay.
I want to say it's like a 1.
Oh, actually, I did that 3 times a day.
Okay. It's a 1d4 kinetic damage.
Okay. I'm just running a quick one on my person and then hold the other one. So.
Okay, perfect.
As you begin, like, clear enough. Okay. So I discovered there was goblins. You took one's arm off, you took one's head off, and I broke my jaw. I'm glad that I'm leading this party. as I continue to follow to the right.
Creatures that bleed usually find problems with these sorts of things.
But yeah, I'm gonna continue on this way.
I'll just follow along because I'm it's in my nature to
Directly behind, or
I want to stop right now.
I'll stay 20 feet away from him. 10 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right. As you're approaching, there was nothing else in the hallway there. As you're approaching this next room, a multitude of conduits, pipes, hoses, and tubes dangle from the ceiling and the walls of this room. Many of them are leaking a variety of colorful fluids, as depicted on the floor here. Some of these fluids have seeped together on the floor, creating multicolored puddles that glow with a faint radiance. Dusty glass vials and bottles sit atop the sagging shop counter in the northwest corner.
Shot counter?
Shop.
Shot. Gotcha.
A hologram of a humanoid alien suddenly flickers to life in the center room.
Before we enter in, I would like to cast Detect Magic to see if these pools or this table has any magical effects to it.
Okay. Roll me a...
Well, how does the Detect Magic work on this game?
Hold on.
Sorry, new rules. You detect all magic spells, effects, items, and objects, including those on affecting creatures that you can see within range. After you cast this, you sense whether they are in range. One round later, you know how many they are. Another round later, you know exactly which things are magic. You can't detect magical traps.
I think it would fit better. Instead of casting the spell, give me a mysticism check instead.
Great. What does mysticism entail?
There's a
Basically,
thing for that. I saw that.
it's more or less essentially what you're going for
Your
is
woo-woo skill.
you're trying to tell if there's magical properties from these fluids, yes?
Okay, yeah. That's essentially what I'm looking
It's
for.
like an Arcana check, basically?
Yes.
Great. That is a 16.
Perfect. So what you're kind of telling is you kind of cut him off as the hologram was starting up, but you tell that the shopkeeper here was the god of history, magic, and secrets. The pools here were some concoctions that he was selling in the shop that provided effects, magical effects. May or may not be to the benefit of the drinker, or it could be to the detriment. It's kind of you roll the dice to see
I see.
whether
So
or not you're going to get the
I
benefit.
see the remnants of like magic potions on the floor, and gotcha. But yeah, I stop what I'm doing to listen to the shopkeeper.
All right. Welcome to Elijah's exciting lectures.
Yes.
Come in, have a drink, and experience the magical blessings of Ella Tool.
I approach. I'm not thirsty. and approach the counter.
The alien figure will beckon with one arm, bringing you guys in. At which point, the hologram will then begin to repeat. You can tell.
That's where it starts over.
As you can tell, if you couldn't get it from the description, this is a rundown old shop. Based off of the fact that the liquids are all on the floor, and based off your mysticism check, you could tell that it probably had to do with there was no guarantee you were actually getting a positive benefit from any of the elixirs. Would you like to take any of the elixirs that are on the table? I would assume this would not apply to my android.
Well, as I just read, detect magic won't tell me what the item is, or so that it's just magical.
You would be rolling, if you were to consume one of these, you'd be rolling a d10 to see what the effect is.
How many things are on there on the table in front of us?
Enough that each of you could do one. You can only consume one if you.
No, but like, I thought there was like 4 or 5 of them laid out.
There's plenty of them there, but you can't. They're not additive effects. If you consume one, you only have that one effect.
Oh no, I understand. But like, how many are there to choose from?
I would say left unbroken. We'll go with there's about 5 unbroken containers. You could also, if you choose to lap up from the 3 additional pools here, if you so choose.
Honestly, I think I'll just take one. John, rather the goblins don't have a hand on this, but if this shop has been run down for so long and the potions are still intact, maybe we don't partake too much.
Can I get a little closer with my robot eyes?
I'd like to just drop one. Perfect. Roll a d10. You take 1d4 damage.
Oh my god!
Would you have waited before you make your decision to see what happens to you?
I take 1 damage.
So like he grabs it and just like gets shocked or something, or what? Like what happens?
Yeah, what happens?
Essentially, you kind of like drink it, and it's kind of like that immediate like gag reflex. You're like, oh fuck, this is bad. You kind of just like spit up some vial and like.
I take a drink and it just slowly dribbles out of my mouth. Like, this is not my day.
I go into it wanting to make like a calculated decision, but not necessarily being aware of what's here. I'll grab 2 down from you, because I don't want to
He's like proximity check. I don't want to be proximity to whatever the fuck you just did.
That's going to be a 5.
A 5. Unfortunately, nothing happens for you. It ended up just being water.
Yeah. So like, what happened? So I
Or oil.
I grabbed the flask up to take a drink of it, and right at the last second, you think I'm gonna pour it into my mouth, but like as my mouth is open, a little comes out, and a little flap like, and I just pour it into the flap, and then it goes back into my mouth. Nothing. It tastes like nothing. I feel better now.
Mine tastes like death and motor oil.
Sounds like we should have switched.
Perfect. Oh, man. Okay.
So the pools on the floor, are any of them the same color as the potions left on the table?
I would say at this point in time, with it being run down, they all kind of homogenize, kind of look with this faint purplish look, aside from the ones that have like stained the floor. So they all more or less look the same. There's like slightly different hues. So it might be slight. Yes.
So if that's the case, the empty flask I have now, I'm just gonna go to the floor and sort of like scoop up some. I'm not going to drink it though.
Okay.
I'll save it for later.
Which school do you?
The purple one.
The purple one. Okay.
Yes.
For planning purposes, for any future application of this, whether or not you give it to someone else to drink,
I'm okay with not knowing.
it will be a D10 same application for what mystery drink we now have on our person.
Okay. I'll just roll it now and then I'll write it down for later. D10, you say?
Yes.
9.
The drinker gains a +1 bonus to all attack rolls during the next combat.
Oh
Wow.
shit! Okay, purple it is. Okay, I'm ready. Take it away.
Okay. Would you guys like to search anything else in this room, maybe behind the counter?
I think we better explore the place before we delve any deeper.
Are there any charging cables behind the bar?
Based off of our description of the room here, there's plenty of cables that are exposed. Whether or not they're compatible with John Smith here, that would be up to him to determine.
There is nothing here left that I want.
Well, let's continue exploring. We'll come back if we need.
Great. I'll go first.
Yes, please.
And I start walking down the hallway.
I'll just stay on your tail.
Okay. I want to stop at this corner. I don't want to go too far. I want to start looking around and shit.
Okay. As you approach this chamber here, it looks like a hydroponics lab. If you're not familiar, it's basically like
Water powered something?
vegetation. So there's along these darker areas here. So this area here. So we'll go all the way up here, around, and here would be considered difficult terrain because it's heavy vegetation. Lush green plants and brightly colored fungi line the walls of the room, fed by trickles of water and flickering ultraviolet lights in the ceiling overhead. A carpet of dead leaves and vegetation covers the floor. Let me get my handy-dandy markers so that we don't fuck this up later with the heavy terrain. And then,
Can we use a brighter color marker?
I was going to go with the green. We'll see how that shows up, and then if not, we'll switch colors. That's not.
Well, it kind of works.
I don't know if I have anything that's going to be lighter.
Actually, I can see that.
Yeah, we can see it.
So basically, everything that's dark is rough terrain.
Yes, there's some of this darker here. Basically, if it's touching the outer wall of the room, it is difficult terrain. So they put the vegetation in this room up along the walls for some fucking reason.
Are they growing like edible moss in here or something, or what?
It's hard to tell what they were intending to do. It's been abandoned for
How many years?
So they guesstimated it 100 to 200 years. So
Oh shit!
if we had to guess, this was something that probably happened during the gap, where at some point this is probably a livable, highly functioning technological part of Absalom Station, but following the gap, no one knows anything about this area or what happened down here. It has now just been filled with whatever felt
Sure.
comfortable down here.
John, do you think it'd be necessary to have a lifeline across this room?
Excuse me, what do you mean by that statement? As I turn around.
I whip out from behind the cloak. I try to catch it, but I end up grabbing the wrong end of the gun and it's pointed directly at my face. I hurry and swap it over like I did it on purpose.
Sure.
Grappling hook. Is that something that you think we could need here?
Grappling hooks are cool. I wish I had one on my arm. Do you need line for that?
Oh, I'll take care of it for now, but I might later.
I shoot a line to. I'm just gonna use a die to mark where I hit it. Technically, I need to make an attack roll, and I have to beat a 10, but I have a +0.
Yes, please make the attack roll.
So you had a 50-50 chance.
I hit it. 12.
Okay. Instead of hitting the wall, you inadvertently hit a creature
Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh, for fuck's sake!
that was hiding in the vegetation.
Oh, shit!
So as I turn it away from myself, I'm like, I'll make life easier for us.
You're like, I meant detect creature.
So I shoot, and you see the rope billowing in the wind as it plunges. The hooks just latch around this creature's shoulder.
Just like a little...
Alright.
He missed the best part. A little thing that
According to my plan, John, continue forward.
What was the the roll again, just to make sure?
It was 12.
Okay, so it definitely makes contact with the creature, and it just straight up pisses it off. It does no damage to it.
Yeah.
Wraps around its neck a couple times.
What you're seeing before you is a Parathi.
Oh, Parathi?
It's a one-eyed tiger-looking like creature that was prowling the vegetation, waiting for an unwitting.
What the fuck? It's hiding in the vegetation.
It has been using this particular room to feast on unwitting combatants or persons. Specifically, the space goblins that are dumb enough to walk into this room unprepared.
Yes, John, I'm the master of uncanny skill. Go and fight.
Alright, please roll for initiative.
Ooh, that's good.
Oof. Okay, I thought it was another one.
18.
18.
And that is a 15.
Okay. And then our Parathi will go last. So, John Smith, you gotta start us off again.
Is it under any condition being attached with this grappling hook?
Let's see if any of them would make sense.
It doesn't say specifically in the grappling hook section if a creature is hit by this.
I would say based off of how we described this grappling hook, you would probably take the hampered at least until the grappling hook is removed around its neck. So it's going to take a -2 on attack rolls.
Saving throws, skill checks, and ability checks.
Okay.
Basically, it's got to fight off kind of this grappling hook before it can move effectively.
Okay. Well. As I look back at the creature being revealed, I get down on my knee. Actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I still have line of sight right there. So I'll go to the right, and I just started like goosh, goosh, goosh. Trying to do a little bit of a baseball home plate slide. Get down on my knee. It looks like this is where it eats persons or things. Let's eliminate it, and I'll just go for a roll. My knee. It's right here. Oh. That's going to be a 13 to hit.
We'll go to attacker.
Perfect.
Roll for damage.
That's the second time I've matched the AC. Here we go. And I'll barely hit the shoulder of this tiger and maybe some of its whiskers, dealing 6 points of damage.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you're going to do?
I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Handing it over to T.
How is the creature looking after taking a blast from John?
Still pretty pissed off. Oh.
Not totally feeling happy.
It's not quite at that point where tails tucked or anything like that, but definitely it felt that hit. I would say it's kind of got a little bit. That was force damage, right?
Yes.
The shoulder that he hit is kind of sunken in a little bit. Like maybe it might have got dislocated. Like he can still move, but he's feeling it.
Okay.
Alright, John,
Your popples don't crack. I mean, your knuckles don't crack. God damn it! I'm fucking Christ.
Your pebbles.
you see that the veins on my face begin to bulge like Byakugan style.
Sure.
My eyes turn a very bright green as I look into the eyes of this creature, and immediately you see this purple iridescent spike go through the air and land right in its chest as I cast mind thrust as I imbue thoughts of anger and anguish within my own soul and project it onto this creature. And it needs to succeed a DC 14 Wisdom save or take half damage.
It's gonna fail. So how much damage was it?
2d10.
Ooh!
Bring it up to Jenkins.
Kill him! Oh, that's a nasty one!
15 points of.
Describe how you're obliterating the mind of this poor tiger.
This poor tiger.
So within a
Prathy.
Sure.
within a matter of 6 seconds, I flipped the gun around for myself and pointed at the wall, hoping to make easier access, purposely hitting this creature. I shoot and land and makes a yelp as John runs to the other side of the room and shoots. And I take this opportunity to be like, I'm taking my frustration out on you. Feeling the pain in my jaw, I amplified that 10 times in my mind and projected onto this creature as I landed directly in the jaw.
So yeah, I was gonna say, I imagine the jaw on the Parathi kind of like it kind of pops down, dislocated, and it shifts.
Oh shit!
And then the creature just crumples in the vegetation. It's still trying to figure out its life choices.
I try to reel in my lines, but I'm really struggling.
Treasure dragon!
The Parathi's just getting dragged.
John, I need some help here. He's stuck.
According to my calculations, all you need to do is unwrap the rope.
All right.
I'm not dealing with any of his shit. He's still begrudgingly pulling the beast towards him.
I'll do it my own way.
I have a -2 in strength, by the way.
So you're struggling to do it.
So in the 10 minutes it takes it to drag this dead tiger, is there anything you would like to do, John Smith?
Actually, yeah. If I'm able to focus through the sounds of struggling and dragging, I'm going to like take a look at all this vegetation right here, and like try to get a sense if like someone or something is here maintaining the vegetation to consume. Does it look overgrown in here?
It would look overgrown, so it's
Okay,
basically like
okay.
it doesn't appear anybody's maintaining it. Well, let's see what would make sense. Roll me a science check if you would like to detect what type of plant is in here.
Oh, I did a good bonus to that, being a robot.
Ooh, wow, that's a good roll.
That's going to be a 23. No. What's that?
You get 5
Plus 7 to 6. So 24.
All right, so how I describe it is it's overgrown, so it's not like well kept up. The plant looks like, based off of your inherent science knowledge as an android, the basis that they build healing serums off of. It's just no one has been living down in the ghost levels for an extended period of time, so no one's been maintaining it and using it to cultivate to make healing serums.
I see. Is there like is the plant still fruitful? Like if I were to take it to somebody, could they process it?
It would take some time, and you probably need let's go for one healing serum, probably 2 squares, so about 10 feet worth of product in order to make that happen.
That is a lot of work. I am not interested. Do I see any initials of TS anywhere?
Roll your perception check.
Or ST rather. Yeah, ST. Steel Talon. 9.
You don't see anything indicating Steel Talon. There are some metal objects lodged into the wall every so often, though.
As the camera starts to pan over back to you, I just look over and say, "There is no evidence of Steel Talon in this room. We should move on."
I flipped the grapple back into place and I trying to put it back in my holster. I should have told you that, John. There's nothing but plants here.
Exactly.
All right. Are you guys done with this room? Which direction would you go? And before we go into next room, I need to refill. I think you wanted to refill.
Please.
Yes. Real quick, is this a wall?
That is a door.
Can I R2D2 myself into that shit?
You could roll a technology check
I
to
will
potentially
try.
open that door. Do you want to do that first? So you want to
Yes.
move over to the door?
Yeah.
All right. Roll.
Can I potentially assist in trying to determine what kind of lock that is?
Yes. Well, would you prefer an advantage
Or is assist something in this game?
I'm gonna make it a thing. That's
Sure.
I'll just roll out
So yeah.
Oh shit, that's a nat 20 for science, you said?
Technology
Technology.
or science?
No, technology is different. So that's a.
That seems like a lever action mechanism. Do it like this.
Actually, I start to like scan the door, a 3D model of it in my like artificial mind. That's a 21 with a nat 20.
So based off of your scan, you can tell that this door is traditionally open from the other side.
Shit, this door is open traditionally from the other side.
Would you like to make an attempt to open it from this side?
No, I would not. Is it possible for me to open this door from the side?
John, who are you talking to?
Sorry, I have a internal AI system that I will ask questions occasionally. I think you humanoids call it a conscience.
I see. Do proceed.
No, we must go around. This door will not open. My cyborg mind says so.
Okay. Do you think there's any other ways out of that room aside from the one that we have here?
No.
Should we investigate this room first before continuing?
I'm not hungry.
Very well. We'll continue onward. As I begin marching through the rough terrain, very much scraping up my second skin in the process, and I'll come over here.
Before you continue to bleed, I think there may have been other rooms. Shall we look at them? As I see you moving onward, never mind. And I just follow behind.
All right. We're gonna take a quick break
Yes.
there, do some more drinks, and then we'll get going.
Wow.
Man, what a blast.
I love using a robot voice.
Well, I love how you've embraced the.
Oh, sorry.
He's oblivious and kind of like it's the intentional condescending. Like you intentionally wait until something obvious has happened,
Right.
and then you comment on it. Because unless it's not in your backstory or like your personality, I would assume you're intentionally doing it because you know it will upset the humans that are around you.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna grab some ice cream.
I like the voice you're using for your character. It's great.
So, I didn't have the intentions of doing that for today, but like, actually from the Stormlight Archive, there's a guy named Torval Sadius. He's a real douchebag, a general in the army, or something like that, hold on. And he kind of talks like this.
Okay.
Down are you really upset me?
It's like Sean Connery plus it's like Sean Connery plus cowboy a little bit, a little southern in there.
Yeah.
This is what Sean Connery would have been if he'd actually accepted to be Gandalf.
Dude, wait, he was offered to be Gandalf?
And he didn't understand the character, so he turned it down. Which is why he ended up doing League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, because he still didn't understand the character in there, but he didn't want to turn down a potential blockbuster.
Dude, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, I fucking love that.
I love that movie too, but like it bombed so bad.
Really?
Yeah, like that's why there's not a sequel. Like they
Well,
set up.
I mean, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's why there's not a sequel.
Oh man.
Wow.
There was so much fun playing with a placemat. Like,
dude,
I knew it would be.
Dude, I was telling you, man, online does not match.
Not even in the slightest.
Like Dre's is close, but like
Not
there's
in the same way.
it's not the same. Yeah, like there's just in person, and then just being able to like detect how piece. Right?
Yes,
You
yes.
Get to
Yeah.
I love how this is gone so far too, because like so how that encounter was supposed to happen is the creature wouldn't interact unless you were within 5 feet of it. So like as you're moving to like that room, it eventually would have attacked. But because you like I'm like watching where you're gonna shoot the grappling, like, okay, that's literally like as I'm like looking where the fucking creature's supposed to be. I'm like, okay, so like you just fucking hit it straight in the fucking face.
Hey, by the way,
What?
did you have any of the fries?
From Red Madonna? I had one fry.
Yeah.
Why?
Both of the kids are throwing up right now.
I only had one fry though. So
I
like.
had a bunch of them, and I'm doing okay.
Oh, okay.
So it might not be that.
Well, that's
Or you're on a sticky
it's
top on.
yeah. It's the only one common thing that they both had. So like,
Oh.
I didn't want that.
So maybe it's just like a.
I'll take that. If you just want to fill it up.
Oh, this is my
I'm gonna call my wife though. Give me 1 second. Make sure everything's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, man. So like back in the day, I think it's part of it is because I have more time being single. To be honest, I probably have the same amount of time now. I just don't use it that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I used to like, I would like draw out all my maps like by hand, and like it was like this. It was part of the magic for me back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eventually, I got like a mat that you could roll up, and it was just a
Squares
a
and you
1
can
inch
draw it.
square. Yeah. I also had a couple.
Dude,
And honestly, at first, when I first started hearing about D&D, when I saw these, I was like, cheap. I don't like that. But dude, this is where
you
it's
can
at.
always do.
This is where it's at.
You could always do more if you really wanted.
Right. Well, but like 3D miniatures, sure, that's cool. But like that's exactly what it's supposed to do right there, and it's fucking.
It just helps visualize.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Cool. I love this.
Yeah.
Dude, sci-fi is one of my. I actually love sci-fi way more than I let myself believe. I just am not into it as much as fantasy. Like I just love.
Well, the thing is like if you get the right sci-fi, it's both.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like sci-fi is magic. It just looks like it's powered by electricity.
Well, you can still combine both. Like there's literally the techromancer thing here.
Right.
Combining magic and technology.
Right.
Technology can only supplement the inherent magic that's there.
Right.
So,
I'm gonna use the bathroom right now.
I feel that.
Wait, isn't Halo multiplayer co-op campaign?
Yes.
Dude, we got it. Wow, man, I can't wait.
Yeah, you could do 2 local and 1 console. You have to like land on that, I think.
Gotcha.
But depending on which one we're doing, you might be able to do cross-platform. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Do you not want it?
No, he's like, I don't want
I don't remember which one's mine.
I know I got the Spangdala one, so
I haven't paid attention.
Cheers. I don't need peach on the side.
Peach.
I'm good.
yeah, they got
You're more happy than I am.
No, it's just because I really like that. I could just drink that straight.
Dude, I'm not saying I don't like it. It just
But you talked about it. Does Riley got you to be a little bitch?
Yeah, dude.
Chasing her every time.
Yeah, before Riley, I just fucking chased that shit. I don't even chase it, and now it's like chase her before, chase her after.
I really like the burn of that vodka gas, but I also really love the taste. So like just for that one. So normally I would take the chaser if it was like just straight vodka, but like that one is an exception.
That's really good. Hey, real quick.
Yes.
Is this game just like D&D? Like you're better off casting spells, not using a weapon?
Yeah. My only other weapon is grenades.
Oh, that's right. What kind of grenades do you get?
Incendiary grenades.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I got 2 grenades, a grappling hook, some armor, and some cable.
Wow.
The rest of my kit is spells.
Cool.
I've used 2 of my spell slots though. I have 3.
Oh, speaking of which, that reminds me. At any point, like we talked about stamina points, if you would like to take a 10-minute rest to expend stamina points, or once you've secured a room, if you'd like to go back up to the main hub of Absalon Station to make purchases or anything like that, we could do that. I know you guys haven't picked up any credits at this point. Maybe potentially selling items, but
Okay.
Stamina points?
remember that's how you can. That's another option to heal.
Oh, your resolve points.
Or sorry, resolve points.
Oh, I
Sorry.
gotcha. I'm good. I'm just a little squishy bitch. I took 4 HP from the guy. I'm like, oh, I better heal up or I'm gonna die. So then I took 1 HP from a thing, and then we're just getting unscathed from a tiger that was supposed to attack us that we got to first.
So, and this is what I was hoping for. Is so like originally it was 1,000 credits for purchasing equipment.
I do. I took it.
Do you like the juice?
I didn't even hit it.
Oh, you should try it. It's a new one. Sad boy new one.
Shit, I lost my.
Sorry.
No, you're good. It looks like what I was hoping works is that by spending 2,000 credits for equipment versus 1,000, it compensated for not having a full party of 4. So
Yeah.
we'll still play by ear. Obviously, there's.
I got a fucking good John, dude.
Yeah, so far, like, no one's even been able to attack you, so.
Well, going from here, John, you need to lead the way. I'll try to step back. You think we should go back to explore the other rooms? I tried mentioning that earlier, and you said no.
I didn't realize that is what you wanted. Hold on, I will track it with my internal GPS. I'll just take us back to the first dungeon.
All the way back here?
I want to check out these 2 rooms.
Okay, perfect.
Would
Would you like to move this way? Or?
Can I just like open up this plastic flap? Do I see any other danger?
No, there is. While T did not cast detect minds or shit,
I casted detect thoughts over here, so not over here.
While he did not detect it, as soon as you pull back, you can see that while it's dimly lit and the lights are flickering, there's no one down that hallway. But you can see off to the left-hand side, there's a door that looks like it might be like a utility closet or something of that
Give
nature.
me 1 moment, John.
I will give you this moment.
I kind of peek my head. You see the same like robotic ligaments shoot out like a little burst of it's like a little burst of air, but it's like sound waves coming out. You hear like a distant sound like get quieter and quieter as it goes down. We're gonna try to shoot it over here. Basically, I'm gonna cast ghost sound.
Okay.
For 1 round, it's going to make some noise.
Like echolocation type stuff?
No.
So, like, I'm going to make.
He's producing sound at a specific point.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna make footsteps, like marching, like as if there's 10 soldiers marching down this hallway.
See if anything reacts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna stay tucked back behind this corner.
I'll go on this corner too to mimic, and I'll just like go around with my rifle.
As they hear, or not they, as the marching steps go down the hallway, there is no interaction with it. Like I said, the hallway is dimly lit. You can see all the way down to the door here. And you can see that there's a door here on the left-hand side, but there is no other reaction to said marching sounds.
Well, this won't tell if there's any traps, but there shouldn't be anyone to jump out at us if they didn't hear that.
Judging by the way this place has been maintained, fuck traps. I'll just go check out this utility closet.
I still give a cursory glance both ways, trying not to get batoned in the jaw by I'll follow John.
Gotcha. Would you like to enter said compartment?
Am I strong enough to just kick open the door?
Would you like to attempt opening
Yes.
the door beforehand? The door opens immediately.
Oh, I want to kick it open.
Okay.
Thank you for the drink, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you're just still open, I just want to use my foot.
Like your foot to hit the door opener or the door itself. Because it's going to determine whether or not we do a strength check or you hit the panel and it opens.
I want to roll a strength check.
Okay. Give me a strength check.
Got it. 15.
The door, as you go to kick it, kind of like dims in a little bit and it starts to open.
It's working.
In the back section
Oh,
of
for
the
Christ's
room,
sake.
as you kind of peek into the entryway here, you can see that it's a cramped room with a low ceiling. Several large crates, as you can kind of see depicted here, are stacked up near the front of the room. A lumpy bedroll is in this corner here, and you can see what appears to be a space pirate. Oi! What are you doing with my fucking door?
Shanty, I don't know if you happen to be a space pirate with such a ridiculous name, but maybe this is your chance to prove yourself.
Oh, we just came in to plunder this tomb. T. How may we assist you today? All right, please roll me an interaction check.
Oh, shoot. You might have to take a -2 to this roll. But doesn't my,
How was it worded? Was it
let me see.
directed with you, like if you're
Yeah,
having
that's what
one-on-one
that's what
interaction,
I'm
or is it
roll.
any interaction?
Yeah,
Townsend happens to be
It's anything that's about you is.
So it says, where is it?
Oh my god.
You find emotions confusing. You take a -2 penalty to interaction skill checks, and others take a -2 penalty to interaction checks involving me. So this involves me, right?
Well, I don't think
I
it's
would
a-
argue it wouldn't if he's directing it specifically at said page.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Like the way that you worded it, like you're specifically having me take the reins, not interacting about you.
Okay. All right.
Now, if it was like whether or not you guys are conversing, trying to be homies, that's
As
a
far
negative check.
as far as assisting, I don't think that would count because he's not able to. Really.
Well, both of you will make it
Okay.
because it depends. Because you obviously you're both interacting with this.
18 for me.
That's okay. So interaction is based off of charisma, which I have a -2, so that makes it a 15 plus another -2 because of me being a robot. So that's a 14,
Okay, but you said 18, right?
12 rather.
I said 18.
Yeah. All right. Are you guys gonna open the door like normal fucking people?
To be fair, I didn't open the door.
It is in my programming to do it this way.
Well, if you come at it from our position, we've been attacked by a tiger of sorts as well as 2 goblins, so forgive my insolence.
No, space goblins.
My apologies. What is your name?
I'm Ruxo Tibbs. Luckily for you, whoever the fuck you are, your robot friend almost fucked you up because I was gonna attack you if he kept shoving his foot up my fucking ass.
I'm sorry.
To be fair, what are you doing down here?
Obviously, I'm fucking living. Do you see the goddamn bed over here? Like,
I take a look around the room. Nice place.
This living tradition is not up to code.
well, obviously it's not a great living. It's not like I fucking chose to be down here in the fucking ghost levels.
Yeah.
You see, you just talked about the goddamn space goblins. I have to mess with them fuckers all the goddamn time. Now, what do you want?
Well, we just saw a room. To be completely straightforward with you.
Is that literally the only reason why you're down in the ghost levels? Just fucking around looking in rooms?
Well, we could be more transparent if you choose to help us, but to be honest, coming in here was a complete fluke.
Yes. And Teddy Ruxpin, whatever you said your name was.
He kind of like gives you a glare. Ruxo Tips.
Right.
And if you guys will leave me the fuck alone, I'm happy to help. If you tell me what you're after.
Well, we were sent down here to find someone by the name of. You see my eyes sort of whir a couple times. I find the name.
He's happy to do a fucking Google
His
for you.
name is Steel Talon, and is an unseen killer. Have you seen this unseen killer?
I don't know about a Steel Talon, but there is this abandoned fucking lair further on in the I don't even know what you call it. Wonderworks here? Shitstorm?
I don't know. I don't live here.
You kind of like, doesn't look like. Anyways, if you continue down this hallway, you're going to see a reactor room. And there's a real piece of work in there. I highly recommend you take some, it's a real piece of work and it's immune to fire damage, so I wouldn't fuck with it any incendiary damage. But it's vulnerable to cold as he tosses you a hail pistol.
A hail pistol?
Mm-hmm. It's in page 62 over there.
Okay.
Does it tell you the page number? That's nice.
I'll give you the gun.
Oh man,
Are you proficient with guns?
I have a +0.
So you're not proficient? I will take the gun.
He also tosses out another grappler.
Double grappler?
Fucking claw shot from Twilight
I
Princess.
take it and begin to spin it around as it points me in the face. Damn it.
Damn it!
After that, he goes, that should be enough. Do you have any other fucking questions?
Yes, if you are so willing to give us supplies, maybe you can come with us. That way, you can take some of the damage that maybe we wouldn't.
Once again, he kind of blinks at you a couple times. Then he looks over to T. All right then, I'll see you guys later. I gotta fix a fucking door.
Well, it'd be easier to fix the door if there weren't goblins running around. We're going to be clearing out this place. And if you do so happen to take some damage for you, well, I've been gifted some power by a powerful being that can heal those wounds.
Yes, imagine being able to live in this shithole without worrying about danger. Come with us.
You guys sound like a used spaceship fucking salesman right now. Get the fuck out of here.
Very well.
Okay.
You'll be able to find us by the shouts of victory.
Oh yeah, like the fucking bitch slap I heard down the hallway earlier.
Hey, that was a cheap shot. You went for my jaw. As I use that line to walk out of the room.
And I'll look back over my shoulder. Hopefully you don't take any incendiary damage either. And I just leave.
As I
He kind of looks at you like, wait, is that a fucking threat?
I am a robot.
I'm going to use my passive telepathy to go to John. Man, we should have done more work.
Does that work?
I feel like it should, because unlike a robot, you have a personality subset. I would say it feels awkward for T communicating with telepathy.
Just like in real life.
Yes, I would assume it's going to take the same -2 interaction modifier, because it's like this awkward, instead of it like being unconscious thought, there's like 1 zeros. Like,
Gotcha.
We should have put an extra kick for my jaw into that door.
I tried my hardest.
I'll have to try harder when we come back.
as you guys leave, you see the door.
Try harder when we come back.
As you guys leave, you see the door kind of like it closes, but there's like a little gap and it opens and closes again. And then you just hear loud, "Fuck!"
What was the race of this guy? What is he?
He's like, I would say he's kind of like he's a human, but he's had cybernetic
Oh, okay.
alteration system.
Okay.
I guess I kind of like glossed over his character description.
No, that's okay.
People are literally kicking on the fucking door.
Okay, so in frustration, looking forward without speaking to John physically, though mentally, I walk over to the door.
Sorry, I should have specified. So he told you about the invulnerability to fire, the vulnerability to cold. Specifically, he called it a HESPAR.
Does that ring a bell in my mind?
Yeah.
It's probably not going to mean anything to you guys right now because you've never. I would say as
But
level one
does
adventure,
John know?
you would have to roll a. Let's go with a. I feel like science would be the best.
Perfect. I have a good in science roll, so that's going to be 18.
So a Hesper is essentially a humanoid creature that is attracted to large energy signatures, given why it's in the reactor room in this facility here.
Perfect. I am a large energy signature.
You would have confirmed Ruxotip's information that it is indeed invulnerable to fire damage and vulnerable to cold damage.
Do you think we should wait, or do you think we should go back? What do you think, John?
Well, this hail pistol may help. I will try to use it.
Very
I
well.
don't think we should turn around.
Better off in your hands as I back off.
Hey, what did you say your name was again?
T.
Hey, T, how many of those grenades? Wait, did you only bring incendiary grenades? Great. I'll just walk down the hall.
And I was even looking at the other ones too.
So I'll put my rifle away on my back and pull out the hail pistol.
As he
Homeboy
pulls
gave
out
me.
his hail pistol,
Did you write it down so you had
Not
all the
yet.
stat information?
I sheepishly pull my cloak over my incendiary grenades in my pocket.
I'm embarrassed.
Are you moving up as well?
I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
Okay. John, as you're entering into the room here, and these doors, they were intended to be open from this direction, so they open immediately once you click the button, unless you'd like to do something other than, just opening doors perfectly.
My heel is still reeling from the door injury earlier, so this time I'll just is there the equivalent of a USB insert port? Because I just want to put my finger towards that, and the tip of it will bend off, and a USB little thing will pop out, and I'll use that to open the door.
There is a port there. It is well rusted. You can tell that no one's used that because the type of robotic creatures that would have used it in the past aren't commonplace anymore. You can see that the red button to open is actually well worn.
Sure.
And it's the obvious choice for opening the door.
I go through all that, and as I see the red button, I don't want to pick up any viruses. And I'll pull my finger back. I just hit the button.
Well, there's no adverse effects. Instead of it being an immediate whoosh, it takes you a good 10 seconds to correctly get your finger inserted, and the door to process that there's this android that wants to use this outdated method of opening a fucking door as it slowly opens.
What can I say? I'm built old-fashioned.
You're doing great, John.
Thank you.
As the doors swing open, you can see the bright glow of the reactor on the opposite side of the room.
Is it functioning?
Yes, it is. It is a vibe.
Oh, that's why we can see in here.
Yes. So it is a very bright, kind of blue, yellowish glow coming through there. There's a bunch of screens along this wall here and here, as long as behind the reactor that are clearly up and running and operational, but that is all you're currently able to see in the room.
Okay, I would like to see. Is there a? I would like to look without entering the room. I want to look for like some sort of control panel associated with the reactor.
Okay. Roll me a perception for said control panel.
Oh my god, natural one.
Your sensors are literally going computer, 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 computer. You're like,
Nothing
This-
but computers and fucking reactors in here. Maybe you should come take a look. And I'll just enter the room and start walking to this corner of the reactor.
I will give you a chance before we move forward.
As I'm about to walk into the room, I kind of turn my head back. I'm going to cast the psychokinetic hand. I'm going to push open the door. What's his face?
Oh, from behind? Sure. He's like just barely starting to close it. You just kind of.
And you hear a faint, because that's what, a good, probably 100.
Oh no, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, like 60 feet.
You hear, you fucking wanker!
I walked in here with the sheepish grin. What now?
What do you mean, what now? As I slap the side of the reactor, this baby can power several cities at a time.
As you start slapping the reactor, it almost appears like there's this mimic as an arm on the opposite side of the reactor is also moving, and it almost appears to be coming closer. This green-looking creature that had been kind of feeding off the energy of the reactor has now been brought aware of your presence in its room. This is the Hesper that you are aware of based off of Ruxo-Tip's information. Has now been enraged that you would fucking touch its reactor.
Can I do something before it acts?
What are you trying to do?
I'm going to use telekinetic projectile. I'm going to just take something like scrap off the floor or something, or even if there's nothing there, just actually,
I think that would be after we roll for initiative because you
You
would
got
have known it.
all right, fair enough. So are we rolling initiative?
Yes, roll for initiative.
Oh my god! I just rolled 2 nat 1s in a row. Fuck my ass.
I got a 17.
17. That's with your modifier?
Yeah. And 1 out of 3 encounters, everybody. The initiative feat taken off.
What's your initiative?
It's +4, but it's only because of the initiative feat. Otherwise it'd be 0.
Alright, you said nat 1 for you?
Yeah. So far total, that's at 4.
Okay. So the Hesper is first, T will go second. John Smith bringing up over here. Alright. So it's going to start with using its attack overheat.
Overheat?
Yes, where's the book here?
While you're looking at that, do you know if in this game system you take any disadvantages for shooting a long range weapon up close?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I feel like that's.
I think that's on page 60 something.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that is a thing.
1 second. I'm looking it up. It's a specific section of ranged attacks.
For the index. It's in the back of the book.
That's where the index is.
Oh, I'm. Table of contents is the front of the book. Fuck. Oh shit. I love to look at this character sheet. God damn.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I've.
It feels more itemized this way.
Yeah, the only thing I haven't liked, but I haven't really compared it to the D&D character sheets, is like being able to write in like what things do. Like, there's not a whole lot of space to be like, this spell does this. So you have to look it up every time.
Unfortunately, D&D also. It doesn't.
Which, I mean, it makes sense. Like, you got one two-sided sheet of paper to like describe everything your character do. It's like, I don't.
Well, I appreciate this. This is one sheet, back and front. D&D, a character sheet's 3 pages long.
Oh yeah, because it's the like
It's
half
like
booklet or whatever.
Yeah, it's like the book. It's like your skills, and then your like characteristics, and then your spells. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you throw me my pizza over there or something? Yeah. Thank you. I don't know if you've realized, brother, but this is the TARDIS that we've been rolling out of. Doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure.
It does not specify, so
I'm just gonna say
regular attack.
Yeah,
attack. Okay.
And it might be I'm misremembering. I know there's a thing about getting advantage. So you can have advantage on a long range as an operative if there's another person within 5 feet attacking the same creature.
Gotcha.
But that's specific to the operative,
Oh,
and that might be what I'm mixing up with.
Oh, well, take it away, DM.
Yeah, but at least in the PHP, it doesn't specify on close range.
Which it might not. So we'll roll no disadvantage on it.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I don't think you would be at disadvantage anyways because I think you're
Oh, yeah, I'm guessing not that much.
you're 10 feet.
Okay.
But you are within range of the overheat Techromancer spell that the Hesper is going to use.
Okay.
Please roll me a reflex save.
9. I love this.
Yeah, it's like 70s, 80s movie.
Yeah, like
Like Goonies stuff, exploring the cavern.
You're going to take 8 fire damage.
What does it look like?
So basically, the Hesper kind of like closes its arms in and then flares them out, and you see this cone of like fire shoot out as like energy of the reactors like seeping out into him as it radiates out towards you.
Before I make my turn on that, after making the overheat attack, does it seem to be hindered by it at all? Like, has it taken any recoil or disforce from using that?
It looks like it's expended a reasonable amount of energy.
Okay.
Right, and like it took effort to expend the spell.
Can you describe what it looks like as he takes the damage?
Well, I was about to say, I'll get lit up, and it'd be like, dee overheating, I am getting too hot, and then yeah, I just get up in flames or whatever it is.
Because you're all black metal, right?
Well, when you said overheat, I imagine there was flames involved. So that's what I thought in my mind.
Well, that was the most John response.
Based on your real life.
Yeah.
Yes, flames. So a cone of flames comes out.
Yes.
Being metal, like it doesn't have anything to necessarily combust on you personally, but you can kind of see.
It's like red hot at the tips.
Yes, even with the black metal, you can kind of see that it's like noticeably lit up. Like if it got much hotter, it probably would like start to melt.
Okay.
Alright, John, don't back down. This is nothing.
It is not in my programming to do so.
You see me like perform some incantations with, some adits with my hands, and you see like some green sigils that kind of appear Doctor Strange style, and it like implodes inside a green mist that envelops both me and John, and we're both going to heal 2d8.
Oh, boy.
This character is primarily a healer. You heal 9.
I heal back up to full.
I heal 1. Because I was.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were already pretty much.
I was missing 1 HP for
Dude, you
taking
just
the fire.
negated his overheat. That was, I think that was. Yeah, that was half damage for overheat.
And then I'm gonna say as at the end of my turn, John, maybe drink the potion.
I am at full functioning capacity. I am fine. Oh, that potion.
I was gonna say before you make that call, remember
It takes your action to do that, doesn't it?
that would also be a consideration. That one concoction, based off of your mysticism check, is good for 1 day. So since you already consumed one, while it didn't have an effect, if you consumed another, it would be worthless. So while you know what this one will do,
It's not going to be a thing until tomorrow.
Never mind.
or if someone that hasn't drank one were to consume it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
If only I had 2 different valves. Is it my turn?
T just went, yes.
Yep.
Did you want to move or anything, or are you good
I'm
with
gonna
your
keep
position?
my position. And it seems like I'm out of range of the overheat attack.
If I stood right here, DM, should I have line of sight?
If we go diagonal, no. You'd be clipped by the wall here.
Okay, well I'll go here.
Oh, my damned ankles.
Unfortunately, I haven't had it unfolded long enough yet to get it to
It's
actually
okay.
be leveled out. But
I'm just kidding.
the fun part is on the back. I think is like Colton was talking about, where it's just a grid. On the back, it has that, so I can just build one in and one in.
So I'll do like a tactical sort of like backward somersault up into the hallway, and as I stand back up, say hello to my medium-sized friend. Yeah, I'll shoot him with my blaster. My
hell pistol.
yes, my hell pistol. Oh, that was almost a nat 20. That's going to be a shit. Hey, play D&D. You can turn to the right page fast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's just going to also be a +5. That's a 24 to hit.
It hits. Roll 4 damage.
I will.
And since that's cold damage, right?
Yes, this is doubled.
I want to say it's plus 50%, if I'm not mistaken. Just. Yeah, it takes 50% extra damage. Round it down.
50% extra damage, so that's 2. So 3 damage.
Yes.
3 points of frost or cold damage. As I shoot it out, I want it looks like a wet snowball. And when it shoots out, like there's some like little snowflake particle effects. And then that's it. My turn's over.
I want to ask as a meta question. So, if, for instance, I got hit by an overheat, failed the DC, I get knocked down. On my turn, does it require the action on my turn to use my resolve point?
Like, you went to 0 hit points?
So if I went to 0 on boss's turn,
When it
comes to my turn, if I use a resolve point, does that take my action?
Yes.
Okay,
So that would get you up to 1 point.
gotcha.
So it's basically like D&D, you would immediately go into death save on your turn.
Okay, so yeah, you use your action to get up, and then it's next person's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alright, that's the end of your turn. You
Yes.
use movement. Perfect. Okay. Well, maybe perfect. I don't know. We'll see. The Hesper, now realizing that you guys have moved out of its range of the overheat ability, it's going to use Energy Ray, which is going to make attack roll. With T being the closest to it at this point, it's going to make an attack on T with a 10 to hit.
Get fucked.
So as it goes to make this energy ray, basically, like you kind of see like the reactor kind of around it as it kind of summons out an energy blast.
Can I like put my hand out to absorb the power?
Like Yoda?
Just theatrically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just take it and absorb the magic energy from it.
Or like dissipate. Like,
Yeah. You see like the metallic ligaments start to like really heat up on my hand, and it sizzles my skin as it absorbs all the energy.
Cool. Like what's Code or what's her name from Boruto?
I haven't seen it.
I was gonna say I didn't think you had seen it.
I only know that because of YouTube. That one chick with blonde hair.
Yeah, the one that Naruto completely pretends like he's getting owned by her, and then like completely manhandles her after that.
Yes.
Or Delta.
Delta, that's her name. Yes.
Yeah, Delta like shows up, thinks she's hot shit, but like proceeds to get like lit the fuck up by Naruto.
Like tries to absorb a fucking Rod Saigon.
And then realize, oh, like he put a lot of sugar. Yeah. It like explodes.
Anyway, sorry.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say I could have envisioned that like the Yoda scene where like he absorbs lighting and
Yes!
face in his hand.
Yes.
Yes. You see the yellow eyes of the Vesper kind of like inflame a little bit in rage that this didn't work. It is now over 2T.
You see me hold the power in my hand, and I try to look back over to John. And I release it back. I'm going to cast, I'm going to cast Mind Thrust. Because I assume this is like more of a psychotic type of ability. You like first person goes to the boss as it sees the ray coming right back at her. In reality, John, you just kind of see my hands up doing nothing. But she sees the beam going straight right back at her. Now, 14 wisdom save. 14 half damage.
Alright, roll for damage.
Or
Whatever damage. Yeah, it was a fail, so whatever damage.
2d10. This is my last spell slot, by the way. That's a d12.
This is your last spell slot?
I have healing still in the pocket. 13
Nice.
Okay. Wow, what a fucking hit. That would kill me in one shot. That's my last spell slot, by the way, DM. For first level.
What you notice after being hit with that psionic ability, the Hesper moves even more into the reactor and kind of merges with it.
Oh, shit.
And I looked at like, oh.
Exits the room.
Alright, go behind John.
Give me 1 second, I need to pee, and then, I have a question after that when I get back.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
You're doing great, by the way, John.
Yeah, you're doing fantastic. I love this.
Like,
I knew I was going to have to ad-lib. The amount I've had to ad-lib is probably about double what I expected.
well, and that's the thing. That's just because Colton and I, like, fuck around and find out, you know? Like,
Which is why, when I read all the way through it and went, okay, like, I know what each room should happen, but I'm not going to get too tied onto the particulars because, like, I know how this is going to play out.
I'll tell you the difference, though, because, like, this could have gone very differently if Colton and I had never played D&D or tabletop RPG before.
Yeah.
But, like, because we kind of know, like, the general course of things, and, like, not to say that anything has been, like, easy or straightforward, but we're just kind of, like...
Yeah, like, you understand RP's a thing, you understand that, like, you're going to roll for things, you're going to, yeah.
Yeah, so if we don't get through everything, I apologize, but I'm having a good time.
Oh yeah, no, I think we're making good time. The doubling back, I think, added a little bit, but
To be honest, I think spending a little bit more credits on buying a weapon that did 2d6 damage is also helping.
I think if we hadn't done the extra armor weapon stuff, I probably would have thrown in.
Yeah.
I would have thrown the NPC in probably when you guys hit this room,
Yeah.
because you wouldn't have had the grappler. Like if we're being honest, like how expensive the grappler was, I don't think you would have had it.
Well, like, also, it's like, if we're running a two-man party and not having a healer is kind of like a death sentence.
Right.
Like,
Right.
not to say that was my intent at the start, because I did just want to play a healer. And I was telling Don before you got here, like, sci-fi is not exactly my cup of tea, so I wanted to play something that kind of bridged the gap.
Yeah.
Sure. Real quick. Riley texted me like an hour ago asking about what time we were thinking, and I didn't realize that. So what time should I tell her to head over here?
That is entirely up to you. Artemis is up at the grandparents' up until Tuesday, so
Tuesday?
I literally have nothing but free time tomorrow, so like I am down to go as late as you guys want.
Well, then I just have to be up early enough to take care of the kids, so...
Should I tell her
But
this?
Riley is our DD, so I'm gonna say it's up to you and Riley.
So it's all up to me to decide what the plan is?
I hate to put that on you.
Because we're at 11. I didn't realize it was even 11 yet. Like, that's how fun everything has been so far. So
What if we just finish the encounter and at least put a pause on the thing tonight, and then maybe just like
Hang out for a second?
hang out
Okay.
and see where we're at?
Okay, so should I say like around 12? Pick this up?
What do you guys think?
Okay.
like I said, I'm down to go later. Because I'm going to stay up later, probably play Diablo if you guys depart.
Potentially, I might be getting on, but we'll see. Dude, Spider-Man has gotten my heart again.
The way you were describing it, I thought like you were already done. Because like when we had talked before, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like working on like the third DLC, and you're like, oh yeah, I like completed the game like 3 years ago.
Well, it was more like I did all
you completed the story, you didn't cut 100%.
Like I didn't do all the crimes. I didn't do 100% of all the basics.
I looked at your achievements and I went, oh, that's what happened. Is he completed the story? He didn't go do all the other things.
I did the main storyline is 100%. Silver Lining with what's her face Sable at the end is at 100%. So I just need
that's impressive because you got the screwball challenges and act.
Oh, dude,
DLC.
screwball!
The only one I 100% into the DLCs was the second one because the other two I didn't get high enough on the screwball challenges.
Yeah, so I'm not going for a true 100%. I'm like if the base objectives are too hard after 45 minutes of me trying to do it, I'll just like complete it so I can say I did it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
So, yeah, which is why I didn't 100%.
I think the only game he's like fully 100% is Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah,
because I told you I platted the base game of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm missing one trophy on the first DLC, 100% of the second DLC, and missing one trophy on the second. So I get where you're coming from because like I went all in on Spider-Man.
Sure, I'll do.
Yeah. So like, well, I just to put it back on topic for a moment. I think 12 is probably going to be a good time.
Let me just.
Yeah, because that's what, an hour?
About an
at
hour.
least an hour from now. Yeah.
Let me make a phone call because I can't. I don't want to text.
Alright, sorry. It's your, like, okay.
No, I took my turn, I thought.
No, it's over to John Smith. So after T had made that psionic attack, the Hespar has now merged with the reactor.
Merged?
Yes. You told me you wanted to ask us some meta questions before we proceeded, but I don't know what they were.
I don't
because you
remember.
never told me them.
No, I don't remember either.
John, I'm not sure if you noticed, but that's a part of the machine now.
I love this. I love that T is now reciprocating.
And honestly, like, ever since I made the Sean Connery comment, it's all I've been fucking hear.
As soon as you made the comment, that's all I can
He's like, I'm going all in.
Help me, John.
I'm scared. As he hands you the rifle to make the shot. T. I think.
This about told me Sean, man.
You can see the whirl you get stuck in the computer hand. Yeah, you see it just cycling through like thousands of humanoid names that I've kind of encountered with in years. No, I say, well, T, it seems as our opponent can no longer move. I'm gonna see what happens. And I start walking backwards 30 feet.
That's me.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Oh, sorry. 30 feet back. And I don't think it can follow us now.
Well, John, I can't do anything. I've used my last spell.
Buxo Tibbs looking at the fucking...
Do I have
Oi! I told you what the Vesper could fucking do! Get out of my door!
Do I still have line of sight on the reactor? I have a 60-foot range of my gun.
You can see this edge part of the reactor based off of the hallway direction.
Okay. So you can't see the Vesper, but you can see the edge of the reactor and the light emanating from it. The edge is all I need. T. Duck. I just take a shot at the reactor. The DM says, I turn the light.
Oh shit. God damn it. Fuck. Oh, lost a little bounce, sir.
Unfortunately, the casing on the reactor is built with the intention of not being burst.
Yes.
So the blast ricochets off into the corner of the room, taking out one of the consoles. As you kind of like see the console like force itself in, and like the glass and everything kind of shatter on the ground.
Okay, I still want to do that, but maybe I'll only back up this much, just in case. That's it. My turn's over.
All right.
Oh,
On the
here we
Vesper's
go.
turn, you
Here
can
we
see
go.
him kind of like in the center of the reactor, kind of like as the reactor energy is just kind of being imbued into the Vesper. All the damage it's kind of taken at this point, you can kind of see it kind of like the mental images kind of like have started to seep out.
Sure.
Did you land an attack on it?
No, well,
You landed.
I landed one attack.
Yeah, the frost damage that it kind of hit its chest. You see like the frost damage start to kind of like recede from it, and that is the Vesper's turn.
We got a healing die here, plugged into the matrix. So, real quick, just for some clarity, the Esper that we can see, we can see it. It's just inside of the reactor.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Like you, I guess there to add to it, where the Vesper or Hesper merged with the reactor, there was an opening there. So there is. Gotcha. Right. Gotcha. Like, I guess the better way to say it is if you had line of sight on the Hesper, you would have been able to.
Oh, I
accurately
see.
make an
Oh,
attack
okay,
roll.
okay.
I need to double check the effect of the spell real quick.
What are you, some kind of spellcaster?
Yeah. Why aren't you doing this on?
Yeah, why didn't you do this before your turn came up?
Yeah, you use a D&D Beyond as your excuse. Like, we're able to, like... God, I hated last night on Clarissa's because I'm like constantly like having to flip back and forth from like the Discord and like my character sheet so I could like read spells based off of what was happening. So like
Yeah.
that's the only downside to spellcaster because I'm like, okay, based off of that I don't use this spell. Now I need to read the paragraph definition of the spell.
I need your opinion, DM.
I love this part.
It does not specifically say I need to see where this effect happens. On ghost sound, you create a volume of sound as noisy as 20 normal humans. Thus, you can create shouting, singing, talking, or marching, blah blah blah. You can make noises that sound like machines or roar of an alien predator, but you can't make specific sounds such as intangible speech and yada yada. What I want to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna shut the door.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use ghost sound to appear in the middle of the room.
So to clarify, before we use the spell, the Hesper is effectively one with this machine at this point.
Great.
So
I don't think that faults his plan. From what the face he's making.
so you're wanting to create sound.
I don't know if it'll work.
That's what I'm getting at. So at this point, consider the Hesper to be the reactor.
Okay.
So like,
Well, I mean,
if you're doing something that would affect like human hearing
it probably
and cause damage,
Okay.
isn't necessarily going to work because
Okay.
if that wouldn't
I
cause
see.
damage to a reactor,
Sephiroth, press triangle soon.
I added a bunch of sci-fi stuff and it added some like horror stuff.
That's
in
okay.
There. But so like I guess I should have clarified with yours as well. He is 100% merged with this blast shield reactor sort of thing.
Sure. Sure.
fine. I edit my plan slightly. I'm going to head it within range without showing myself in front of Homeboy's door.
Okay.
And pointed it just about right here. I'm going to use ghost sound because it doesn't clarify that I need to see where the sound is happening from. Warning, warning, warning. The reactor is overheating.
Are you trying to get Homeboy into the pit?
Evacuate the premises immediately.
It's like in your voice still.
I'm saying it in character, but it's like a robotic, like
Sure,
you know, automated message.
You see Ruxo Tibbs. He gets to the door. Fucking hell! As he like trying to force it
It
back
doesn't
open.
open right anymore.
So he kind of like crawls out to this space.
He looks at me and is like,
He then goes, "You fucking idiots!" As he's making his way to the elevator to go leave the sector.
Whose turn is it?
that was my action, so.
It's
it my
back. It's back to you, John.
Well, John, I don't know what to do now. I'm all out of spells and I only have fire grenades. Incendiary grenades.
Well, so on a better level, what I think is funny is you tried to break Ruxo Tibbs back in, who gave you the weapon to fight this creature. So he literally has nothing to fight this fucking thing with because he gave it to you.
I tried, John.
As you
Go in
start,
and fight, buddy.
as he comes out, I turn around, but only at the waist, so my legs keep facing forward. Wait, Teddy Ruxpin, don't leave. And I'll just like, feeling a little bit more safe, I'll just run like 15 feet up the hallway in like 4 steps. And I'll just sort of like come up against the wall, and then pull out my 1, 2, 3.
For continuity's sake, I did shut the door.
5. Oh, you did shut the door?
Yeah.
Can I just open the door again?
That is.
So we'll take my action to do that?
I wouldn't say it consumes an action. You're literally just pressing.
Bam! Press the button with my fist. And this time, the door's not going to open again. It's just going to stay open because of the damage I did to the button with my fist.
Okay. So for continuity purposes, the door cannot be closed at this point.
I pull out the my bolt blaster, whatever, sonic bolter, and I take the shot.
Sonic or Frost? It should be a Frost weapon.
Well, I don't have. Can I hit? Okay, I'll fucking.
What's the range on it?
Oh, range is not going to be a problem here. I have a feat that allows me to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know what the damage difference is, but he is vulnerable to cold.
Yes, but the other gun is 2d6. So even at a 4.
You're doing 6.
Okay, I'm going to just pull out the bolt blaster and take a fucking shot at the reactor, because that sounds like a good idea. 14?
So once again, you kind of, despite your last shot, you haven't realized that there is this blast shield around the reactor that kind of like is intentionally designed to prevent it from just being burst. So the shot kind of ricochets off to the side.
God damn it, I think there's some sort of shield on this thing. I had my turn.
Gotcha. So once again, the Hesper is sitting there kind of just basking in the reactor energy as it absorbs in the inherent radiation,
Okay.
imbuing itself. In the background, you can kind of see the panels are flickering, indicating that he's kind of pulling from the inherent technology in the room to fuel himself. Once again, all the damage that he's kind of taken seems to be receding. The frost damage is completely nullified at this point, and the dazed kind of look that he's had at this point on his eyes from the psionic damage that he took from T has mostly receded.
Okay.
Don, you said you wanted something else?
Yeah, I was going to try the peach one here in a sec. And that will end the Hesper's turn, and it'll be back over to T. Did you want one?
Yeah, I'll take the huckleberry.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're good. That is a fair.
Oh, that bread is so good to me.
You had the one where we did the other varieties, right? This is the 4-cheese one. I think you and I have done the garlic rosemary one as well.
I'm sure I don't remember, but I'm sure if it was bread, I'm positive I liked it.
Yes, this had like some Star Wars. It had some Star Trek in there. There's some random. I don't know this one in particular. Yeah, there was some Florida stuff that kind of had it in for some reason because I put in like sci-fi stuff. I don't know why I put it in.
I found this one sci-fi music. What's it called? It's that ambient sound. It's like fucking like.
It's like Deep Space.
There's Aliens was in here, which makes sense because it's sci-fi and horror. So like,
Well, okay, so as far as my DM style goes, I have the most experience with like dark and dreary atmospheres.
ooh, peach. That's pretty solid.
I believe I ever had Jim Beam Peach.
I don't know if I've had that one. I've had the apple. It's right there on the. That's about it for me. Okay. So we're back over to T. Hesper is looking pretty healthy at this point. Just basking in his reactor radiation.
Well, shit, John, I can't do anything.
So when you reload your gun, do you like drop a mag or a clip or anything?
I'm gonna say it's just like there is no like reloading property. The gun just works off of like a base amount of like energy within it, and will need to be like recharged later.
Okay, as homeboy is running away, I'm gonna use my psychotic abilities to grab like a pouch or something off of him, and I'm gonna
I'm gonna use my.
Take his gold purse off his person and throw it at the boss.
I'm gonna use telekinetic projectile.
Okay, is there any DC for that? Yeah, let me see.
I think, is it just roll a hit?
Yeah, it might be a roll to hit. That's, which is fine, but I just want to make sure for flavor.
I literally cannot damage this guy. or potentially heal him with.
We should give you the hell gun.
Yeah, for real. But I have a +0, so it's kind of a double-edged sword there.
Roll me.
How do you do magic attacks?
What do you mean?
So it's like, I just do a straight-up ranged attack roll.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, well that's just a straight D20 roll, D.
Based off your dex?
It,
Oh my god, another natural! Dude, this thing has rolled at 5 nat once.
I mean, there's another one. I put 2 on the table.
I steal the coin purse from Homeboy as he's running off after my warning. To potentially try to get him to help us or something.
I was gonna say he didn't have anything else on his person, just the crit stick.
And I grab the crit stick and use my psychotic ability to send it flying. It just like hit John in the back of the head.
I feel like that's pretty accurate for now. What?
Oh, that felt like...
You turned your head like...
Oh, that felt like money.
There is now a crit stick with 50 credits laying on the ground next to John.
For my movement, I'm gonna go pick up the credits.
Alright, so you move yourself up next to John so you can pick up some credits.
Excuse me, Teddy Ruxpin, I need your money. Throws it across the room to the back of my head.
Okay, yeah.
You fucking wankers! You're not worth the 50 credits. Enjoy the Hesper, you fucking dumbasses.
He runs away.
Okay, that's all I can do, DM.
Okay. Roll me a technology.
Okay, that's gonna be 14.
Do you have a negative on technology?
What would I roll? 13 plus 1.
Oh, okay, 14.
Hey, just because I'm a robot doesn't mean I know anything.
Well, it was just one of those. I thought the only way you had the charisma. Charisma's the only one you have negative on, right?
Charisma and wisdom.
Oh, nice.
Not a talker or a seer.
Okay. As you're kind of recalling on the Hesper, you kind of had pulled back a bunch of records on it initially, right? With the fire resistance, the cold vulnerability. You're also kind of picking up that maybe it being merged with technology means attacking or forcing them out of the technology might be a thing.
Okay.
But you've never seen this in practice, and you would have to apply this as a first timer.
I have never seen this, but I think we may need to attack the machine. Funny enough. Right? Right. Wait, whose turn is it now? The Esper?
I had you roll this because it's the start of your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay. Hold on. I came up here.
So you've attacked the reactor twice now with 0 effect.
But that isn't the Esper's turn? Because
the Hesper, it goes Hesper T, who just had his turn, then you.
Oh, okay.
We could try attacking the control panels on the side.
Okay, yeah.
Would you like to do a perception check before you attack set of control panels to try and determine which one actually would have an effect on the reactor?
Yeah, I'll give it a look. Perception?
Perception or technology, either one. I think.
I'll take technology because I don't have a negative score. Actually, I'll use perception. 13 minus 2 is 11.
So, once again, as you kind of look around the room, you go, computer, 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 computer. So there's 5 remaining consoles, and it would kind of be shooting in a bucket as to whether or not attacking one of those consoles.
So I'll just like aim for one of the
1 in 20 chance.
Yeah, I'll aim for one of the consoles that's blinking at me in the wrong way. And, just like 3 blinks and it's serious. 4 blinks. Don't want to find out what happens.
Alright, roll me a attack roll.
19.
19. Roll me a D100.
Oh, okay. D100. There we go. I'm gonna re-roll both of those. 95.
In your blind intuition, you manage to hit the console directly behind the reactor.
Yeah, cool.
As it starts to fizzle, you see in anger as the Hesper kind of like is forced out of the reactor as the reactor goes dark.
Does it go black out in here?
Thankfully, the reactor was not what was powering the rest of this section of the station. While you don't know what this reactor was used for, it obviously wasn't what was powering the nearby section.
It has revealed itself. Fire, fire, fire. That's my turn. I'll use my movement to come right next to the reactor. Is it warm when I touch my metallic hand on it?
I mean, you don't have like actual tactile human.
I don't.
Sensor.
So I just put my hand.
Like your sensor would be like radiation.
Right. Great. That's my turn then.
All right. Pissed off, the Hespar is going to move in to make a mutating touch attack on you.
Mutated touch attack?
Yes, it's a nat 20.
Oh my god! Kill me!
Give me a fortitude saving throw.
Yes, sir. What? Oh my god!
Well, if it makes you feel any better, you rolled a 20 on the floor.
Oh my god!
And you rolled a 1 on the table.
We'll go with the nat 20.
No, I'll take the nat 1.
Okay, alright. So be it.
Nat 20, nat 1. What are the odds?
Yeah. 1 off the table, 1 off the table.
Yeah. You have now gained the hampered condition.
Hampered condition?
Yes, which means you take
Which
a -2 on attack rolls, saving throws, skill checks, and
Same
ability
thing we
checks.
did to the tiger.
Oh, fuck.
Which it didn't matter because the tiger died before it mattered. Until you remove the hampered condition. I'm trying to remember what you do to remove it.
I will look that up.
And you're gonna take.
Together conditions.
Oh, there's no damage associated with it. Thankfully, you're just hampered.
Look in the index.
Okay. It might be
Conditions.
or hampered. It just tells me.
And the card just tell you what.
Yeah, it doesn't say this either. Hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just saying once per day. Here, we're gonna go. If there's a magic ability that removes conditions, that can remove it. Otherwise, it will just be for this encounter.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
everything I've seen is just until the duration listed is removed. So, like, if a spell set like for 1 turn or something like that.
Yeah.
This one doesn't specify that it's only 1 turn. It just says it's applied. So basically, I've mutated you. So by touching you, he's mutated your android body to force you to be hampered.
Gotcha.
So once the combat encounter is complete, the hamper condition will be removed. There is no damage associated with the touch.
Gotcha.
You just been touched a spot you weren't really comfortable with.
And does the judge want me to point on the doll where that happened? Where he hampered me?
All right. It is now over to T.
Spill the tea. If you even can at this point. Yeah, fortunately, as a soldier, I don't run out of spell slots of firing my gun.
I'm gonna move 2 spaces forward. I'm gonna toss an incendiary grenade behind here.
Okay.
This is where he shut off the reactor.
Yes.
I'm gonna toss an incendiary grenade to set this shit ablaze.
Okay. What's the range on this? 30 feet?
30 feet. So right here is my exact range.
So this is going to hit
Okay.
John as well.
So this is where I kind of confused. I tried looking it up before my turn.
Or I guess it would be, what, 15 feet from...
Well, it doesn't say a blast radius on the thing. What it does say is that it has a range of 30 feet, but it in the actual description it says incendiary grenade releases a fire explosion that burns everything near it. But the range is 30 feet, and I assume that's how far you can throw it.
Yes, 30 feet would be how far to throw.
So does it explode at 30 feet? There's no way!
I was going to say, it just says near, so I would say that's
would
probably
say
at 5 foot.
5 foot? Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go with 5 foot, so now there's impact that it's just going to light the
So
consoles on place.
The console's ablaze. That's kind of what I'm going for. I toss a grenade over in between this pocket here, and have it roll in the middle, so it's just like punk.
Gotcha. Give me a ranged attack.
Oh god. Okay.
Right? Yeah, it should still be ranged attack.
That's a straight 13.
Yeah. So
I
grenades.
have a 0.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So the grenade hits exactly where you were expecting. The console's light on blaze. There is no visible change to the rest of the room. The reactor was already dark. The Hesper had already been removed from the reactor.
Okay, well, just making sure. My companion is full health and I have no offensive spells. John, I did it. I threw the grenade. I landed where I wanted.
You did a great job.
You're doing great, pal.
As he's kind of like mutating from like the touch that he got.
Yeah, so like, at this point, I toss the grenade and it explodes and like sends a heat wave out that I guess John doesn't feel. But
I have sensors to feel it.
Okay. You feel it blasted like this.
Oh, that's very warm.
I have a sensor indicating to me that this is feeling hot.
My cloak kind of billows back like. The consoles and the terminal kind of start catching a blaze, but that's all I do on my turn. And I mark 1 grenade down.
Is it who's?
It's now over to
okay.
John.
I look over at this Esper. Does it look like it has the ability to communicate? Does it look like it has intelligence inside those skulls?
It is a humanoid creature. It's kind of like a greenish skin that's obviously at this point radiating radiation because it's been merged with the reactor for this period of time. It looks like it probably could be receptive of communication, but you've also been fighting it for the last 10-15 minutes at this point. So,
okay then. Well, I will. How close am I?
I guess meta-wise, it's actually only been like less than a minute.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so I will.
I mean, you shot it with an ice gun.
Yeah, I'll put.
Destroy the reactor that it was literally living in.
Creature, I have destroyed your home, and now I will destroy everything about you. Perfect. That's going to be a 19 to hit with my frost gun.
Okay, that hits. Roll for damage.
Rolling. Fun picking up D4s.
D4s?
Picking them up is the worst.
Are 2 D4s?
Yes! That's going to be 2 times 3 again.
Perfect.
Hey, sometimes you roll 2s.
There's not any loose material around. That's awesome. That's my last offensive skill.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Maybe you should take the frost gun. At the end of my turn, DM, I say, this thing is too cold for my hands to handle, and I'll just throw the pistol gun, what's it called? The hail pistol to homeboy here. Okay. T.
I will try to use it.
I think you take a -4 penalty trying to use it, I think.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That just means I just have a -4.
The Hesper is now going to retaliate on John with Energy Ray. Which 7 to hit, which I think is well below your AC. Yes.
What was it trying to hit me with?
Energy Ray.
I will actually just take it, and it will just scoot me back like 2 feet. I mean, it doesn't do any damage. I just take it.
No, yeah, if that's how you want to.
Just for the theater.
I don't take any penalty from this.
Perfect. So move your character where you.
Yeah, I'll just like slide back like 5 feet. Just like.
The acid from the attack kind of like billows out on the floor around you.
Do you realize what that could have done if it touched my servos?
All right. 2T.
How much damage did he take?
No, I didn't take any damage.
He didn't take any damage. He chose to take the force effect of the blast
and just
to move him backwards
back a little bit, you know.
I kind of like bounce the gun back and forth in my hand, like, okay, here we go. And I flip it back and point something.
Damn it!
I point it. Okay, here it goes, John. I'm gonna try to take this.
Okay, raise attack.
Okay, well this is a straight up +0, so.
Almost a crit. Almost a crit.
That's a 19.
It hits. Roll for damage.
Kill him.
So you do it.
Roll for it. It did come out.
Okay. Roll kit then. 3 damage. 3. Is that 3 by itself?
It's 2 plus 1, which makes it.
Okay.
Only 2s have been rolled on this fucker.
Okay, well I picked. Okay, so I went to pick up the D4 without fail, and then it knocked mine down.
I was going to say, I haven't used it much yet. It's mostly been with the D20, so.
I shoot the gun right at the homeboy, and then I'm like, well, you got it, John. You got it, John.
Where are you, John?
Right as you fire out, you're doing great. Keep doing that, and I'll just throw myself off the couch to make an attack.
Crit.
Natural 20!
Right. Was that the weapon that had the bonus crit effect?
Yes. It is staggered.
Okay.
It can either move or make an action, not both.
Roll for damage.
I will, good sir. Do crits work differently with damage in this game?
I want to say they work exactly the same. Roll twice.
Okay. So we got first roll. So I'll just. I want to take off the left shoulder blade. It does a total of 15 damage.
Wow.
Okay.
That
So-
beats my damage that I've done so far.
Honestly, like if we're being honest, like while it was susceptible to cold damage, I think you're the gun.
Yeah, that's
Probably more
that's why I
damage.
gave him the fucking P fucking shooter, because my gun clearly does more damage.
So what you see is the Hesper kind of like it takes a blast straight in the chest and it kind of like staggers backwards, and like its eyes kind of like glow, like it's ready to come like back full frontal. And then like takes a step forward and kind of like just
Oh,
to the
fuck
ground.
yeah! Fuck yeah!
There actually isn't any cold grenades.
Wow, that's
But they're sonic, concussive, frag, and incendiary.
okay.
Or at least not in this version. I'm sure they have additional ones that
I'm
will accompany it. Alright, is there anything else, now that you've taken out the Hesper, that you would like to do in said room?
I'll just like from The Incredibles, like what's the machine called that is meant to kill supers? This doesn't have a name. Anyways, like the round ball that's meant to kill supers, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I'll just like scan across the room like a blue light, just
Okay.
like all enemies eliminated. Threats are no longer. Can I fucking loot this thing? Why the fuck you looking at me like that?
No, we were reporting it the song. It was like the perfect like Star Wars inspirational and like you're
I like, did I do something?
Yeah.
It's just the music.
You killed the boss and now the theme song is
You're welcome to loot the Hesper if you'd like, but if you look at it on closer examination, it's basically this green radiation sort of creature that literally has nowhere to store items on it.
Can I take a skin sample
Be-
to analyze in the lab later?
By all means, give
In
me,
my lab,
give me a science check on how long you are at removing the tissue on this
Can
Hesper.
I try to assist him?
Sure, roll at advantage.
Okay. Okay. 16.
You're able to get a skin sample off of this. Whether or not you're going to get any viable information will be determined by whoever you take it to from here.
Perfect.
Forward. So, right, yes, add it to your notes. You now have a skin sample.
Yes.
Yes. On your-
Great. That's first skin. Hey, who knows? Maybe we can clone them.
Make a robotic version.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe the person who puts them up against won't have any frost damage either.
As he tosses the fucking no pistol aside. So uncivilized.
Oh shit, man.
Alright.
Hey, T. Oh, sorry, shit. Let me get back to my character voice.
That was strange.
Sorry, that was a
Error.
redundant personality.
Yes. Maybe you should take a look around. I'm a little preoccupied as I'm pulling skin off the corpse.
I start coughing with the smoke of electronics, like, going out.
He's like panning them away from the consoles in the background.
I think you got this with that blue scanner thing. I go out of the room and shut the door. I can't, but, yeah.
Oh, no, well, so this door was intended to be open from this side, so if you go through this door, you do have the ability to close it. Now that you
Okay,
go through.
well, I will go through this door and I'll close it, so I'll stay right here.
Oh, man.
Wow. That was a lot of fun. Man, I had a clutch heal there for a second, but man, after I did that, I'm like, well, I can't do anything else now.
Oh, Mars, you're back. What are you doing, buddy?
That was really fun, man.
Yeah.
Sorry we didn't get through like 50% of the map.
No,
but-
you know what's funny is I was like, this could go one or two ways, where we blitz it and we're through it really quick, which
So
the
I assume
trajectory-
this was the boss.
To be honest, I thought we were on that trajectory because of our experience as D&D players until we decided to circle back.
you were honest, like based off of how the dungeon layout is. This is kind of like the halfway point. So if you continued on, we probably would have gotten close to where the big
Gotcha.
boss is. By
Yeah.
circling back, what's funny is like I would say this track is the harder track, obviously, like because you're getting potential bonuses here and only one encounter. Whereas this one, you guys rolled high enough on the interaction that this went well.
Sure.
Because if you'd rolled low, he would have become an enemy and you would have had an encounter with Brooks and Tibbs.
Fucking Christ, man. We broke his door, stole his money, and told him to leave.
The DC wasn't. You're all level 1 characters, so like the DC on that roll was
Sure.
nice. When you rolled an 18, like
Well, like the 10
you
or
smooth.
something.
You effectively like smooth talk them, spite your android friend kicking down his door.
Hey, I didn't know someone fucking was living in there.
This one was the one I was worried about, and like I was like trying to throw the breadcrumbs because like what it wanted was a technology skill check to force him out of the reactor.
Unironically, I have a really high technology.
But you guys kept fucking moving further back.
To be honest,
which I can't blame you. Which is why I was like, it just bounced the reactor door. Like I don't know what you want.
to be honest, so my plan when I did that, I'm like, well, he's probably not going to reach us. And if he's going to follow us, he's going to
Yeah,
go.
so how the Hesper's written is that once he goes below a certain health threshold, he merges with the reactor, and he will stay in the reactor unless he's forced out until he's back to full health. At which point he comes out and re-engages.
So you whap him with a crit.
Yeah, dude.
So he was a turn in. One more turn would have put him at 20 out of his 21 health points. So you guys forced him out at 15.
Gotcha.
Yeah.